It is 6 o'clock. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans are in Tampa Bay for joint practice this morning with the Buccaneers at 9 a.m. as they get started. And they'll prepare for the first preseason game Saturday night with kickoff set for 6:30. Head coach Brian Callahan spoke to the media yesterday and talked about the type of practice that you can expect today against the Bucs.
Pretty similar to a practice here, points of emphasis on a one-day practice with Tampa will be a little bit different than a 2-day practice with Atlanta. You get it. The 2 days give you some chances to break some things up, but you'll see all the major situations. You'll see some third down. You'll see red zone. You'll see 2-minute. All the stuff that we work here every day. It'll be good to go against somebody else.
And a 3-game slate of NFL preseason games tonight as the Indianapolis Colts are in Baltimore to take on the Ravens at 6 p.m. on NFL Network. The Cincinnati Bengals are in Philadelphia to take on the Eagles at 6:30, and the Las Vegas Raiders are in Seattle to take on the Seahawks at 9 p.m. on NFL Network. In Major League Baseball last night, Los Angeles Dodgers do-it-all two-way superstar Shohei Ohtani hit his 1,000th career hit on a go-ahead two-run home run in the third inning. Ohtani also struck out a season-high 8 batters in 4 innings pitched. But it was the St. Louis Cardinals who rallied late and secured the 5-3 win. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once, and your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Thursday morning at 104.5 The Zone, live in studio. This is Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. Streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and on the 104.5 The Zone app. Scooters Coffee is locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Joint practices today begin for the Tennessee Titans in Tampa Bay. Cam Ward faces another uniform for the first time in his young NFL career. We're here to talk about it with you. We've got some folks that'll check in with boots on the ground. Taylor Zarzour will be on the show at 7:20. Charles Davis, the Titans preseason television analyst, he'll stop by at 7:40. Your phone calls at 615-737-1045. Ramon Foster, another checkpoint in Cam Ward's young NFL career. He sees another uniform today. Good morning.
Yes, he does. Well, man, good morning, man. Happy Friday, Junior, to you also.
Yes, sir. You as well.
Happy preseason game, too, I guess. We got a lot going on, man. And I'm excited to see what the boots on the ground situation is going to look like for the Titans and specifically Cam Ward, because what I would tell you, Will, the way we were able to see practice yesterday, what a way to hit the road, man, for the offense, right? What a way to hit the road with a little bit of momentum.
That is what you would call in Major League Baseball when you have 162 games and you're on a lot of flights after games to go to the next place. That's what we call a happy flight yesterday for the Tennessee Titans offense.
Yes, it was.
Happy flight is a good thing in sports.
It is, man. I promise you. I was looking at some of the images yesterday from the Titans Instagram account. And they were showing the pictures. I was like, look at them. They just hanging loose right now, man, just chilling. They happy to get away also.
Cam Ward's still with his wired headphones plugged into his phone. Man, we got to get this man an NIL deal with some wireless headphone companies.
Hey, listen, man.
That's who he is.
At this time of the year, I would hope his initial signing bonus has been deposited.
I would imagine so.
I think the young man just a savage out here, Will.
I think he's just a football player, as he once told Shedeur Sanders when he asked if he wanted to make a song or something. No, man, I play football.
Listen, good. Yeah, exactly. All I'm hoping is this, man. It's this new trend going on where it's just called like rawing the flight, where you just do nothing.
It's called raw dogging a flight.
I ain't know we can say the other part, okay? Well, either way.
Why not?
All right, well, listen.
Somebody will call us if we can't say it. That's okay.
You're right.
Justin, can we say that?
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's two separate words.
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Okay, yeah.
That is
it's
it.
a trend on social media. If you were unfamiliar,
Did you hear what Buck said?
No,
No.
I try to not.
I'm pretty
make
sure
that
it's worse
apart.
than what you just
Well,
said.
I try to make things Buck says just never be a part of my vernacular on or off air. So I was not familiar with that. But
either.
Raw dogging a flight, for those unfamiliar, is when you don't wear headphones, you don't listen to music, you don't watch anything, but you watch the flight simulator on the screen and the seat back in front of you to just monitor where you are. So
I saw a buddy of
For the
mine
uninitiated.
recently coming back from Spain. I think 9-hour flight. 2 containers of Zen, a coffee, and a Pepsi right next to him, Will. And I was just
What a
like,
country.
Why are we doing this? Why? And you know what? Maybe that's Cam Ward too. Maybe he's thinking about all the plays he's making and the checks and options that he's got to run an offense. Maybe he's thinking about his first NFL dub, even in the preseason. But as for me, Will, I got wired headphones because shout out to Brentwood Hearing, okay? Because
There
I
you
got
go.
these over here.
Love it.
And I got wireless headphones, and I got an iPad, and I got a phone. Your boy is not raw dogging a flight, is what I'm telling you.
No,
Will.
absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Fair to say, Ramon Foster, that yesterday was Cam Ward's best training camp practice as the quarterback of the Titans?
I would say so. Yesterday, I felt like was the study hall that you've had, the study guys you've had to write down in classroom, all come to a head, and you finally felt good leaving the test yesterday. Legitimately, like I don't want to have anybody that listens to us think this is fluff. Right, that we were just giving you. But yesterday, he looks like a pro. He operated like a pro, and the offense had a whole lot of flow. I'll even go a step further, Will, to say, I don't know in the last 2 years. Let's just stick right there because we're not comparing one to one, but we are. I don't know if we, from the times we've been at practice, have walked away and said, boy, the offense looks good. And that's with any other quarterback out there besides like Cam Ward in the last 2 years. That's Mason. That's Levis. That's Brandon Allen even yesterday. That's Malik. Nobody's running offense as efficient as he did yesterday. Now, there's other context to be added also. But being able to go up and down the field, Will, being able to see him maneuver around and up in the pocket, I like what I saw yesterday.
Yeah, there were more than just 100 level things happening yesterday for Cam Ward. And there's a big takeaway I've got that we're going to get to here in about 15 minutes on the reason and the one thing about Cam Ward that excited me the most yesterday. But Ramon, you could tell there was a buzz at Ascension St. Thomas Sports Park. I know Jim Wyatt wrote this at TennesseeTitans.com, the liveliest crowd that we had at Titans training camp so far as well, kind of contributed to the overall energy on the field.
I agree with you.
And it's hard not to get excited and have that energy when you see your future, hopefully, franchise quarterback making plays in the way that he did yesterday.
The condition they did at the end of practice yesterday was nothing. Like after you end the practice the way they did yesterday, and I don't want to make it seem like the defense just got beat down either. It was challenging, I felt like, on both parts of it,
And
too.
they had solid periods earlier in practice.
Absolutely.
It was the finish to practice where the offense just totally dominated.
Dog, that's the biggest part right there, Will. It's the closeout, man. Remember, was it last week we were at practice and it was the pick six that happened. And then the day before that, there was another bad point of practice for the offense where they couldn't close out. I thought the earlier part where the run game was good, when Tajay broke one and when you saw Tony Pollard break one also I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday, I felt good about the start of the practice for the offense, but it oozed to a finish, Will. Like they didn't have the ability to finish. And yesterday you saw that finish in a very real-ish scenario of 2 minutes. And also in tight red zone. Mm-hmm. I thought both of those periods to end for the practice, specifically the ones, was really good.
Joint practices will begin today at 9 a.m. here locally between the Titans and Bucs, 10 o'clock down there in Tampa Bay. Brian Callahan will meet with the media at 8:40 this morning. I'm actually just going to produce the show live on air. I'm not positive that's going to be streamed from Tampa, but obviously we will be available to tell you what he's saying either way when he does speak at 8:40 to the local media who has traveled down there to Tampa this morning. I would imagine it will be, but we'll find out at the end of hour 3 this morning.
That's also a quick turnaround for this Titans team traveling too.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you too, because they have a good practice yesterday. Wasn't as long of a session yesterday as we've seen earlier in camp or even as recently as last week. What are the challenges for this team getting checked into the hotel, getting acclimated with where they are going to be for a couple of days, and then turning around and seeing a Tampa team that slept in their own beds last night and probably had a more relaxing Wednesday, to say the least.
It was. The challenge for them is the sleep side of it. And quite honest with you, Will, being too excited also. That is the point of it, too, because you go to a new destination. You know how it is, man. It takes you forever to fall asleep sometimes. You're already in camp mode anyhow. Now you probably, some of these guys got roommates when it comes down to their comfortability in their rooms and who they're dealing with and stuff like that. But I like it, is what I'm saying, because Coach said this yesterday, Callahan. He wants them to be together and somewhat uncomfortable in training camp. That's what it's for. But the other side of it is, like you just said, Will, the logistics of leaving the hotel all at the same time, going to a place that has a locker room that's probably way smarter. I will always say this, too, until they change it or implode that stadium down there. The worst visitor locker room ever in the NFL. Yes. I don't see how
we talked about that.
I don't see how they continue to get the Super Bowl with how that doggone locker room is set up. It is underneath the stands, I feel like. It's got the soundproof and yellow stuff up on the walls and stuff. The lockers are really tight. Unless there is a different section of the locker room for Tampa, Will, it is terrible. And then it's worse with just 53 guys plus the 6 back in my day for the practice squad dudes that travel. So I can imagine the 91 that they took down there if they are getting dressed. So there will be discomfort as it pertains to that. And the other challenge is, too, like I said, getting up that early on Eastern time to go practice again. But we saw yesterday, too, guys are up early in training camp anyhow. This will just be uncomfortable, the getting to and the getting back. Practice, they should be juiced up, to be honest.
Yeah, do we feel bad for whoever is rooming with Cam Ward because of how early he gets up to start watching film?
Yeah.
They got to put Cam Ward with somebody in a hotel who is also going to be watching film at 5 a.m.
Easily. And I think Brandon...
Where do you go to watch film? At a hotel?
Oh, they got ballrooms. That's what I heard, too. How they book out hotels is dependent upon ballroom availability.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I know. It tripped me out because they need a cafeteria, they need walk-through rooms, they need meeting rooms. Like, it's all about the availability of the hotels. If they got a wedding, you're probably not going to get in there.
Streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. We will preview those joint practices with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, or joint practice, I should say, singular, because there's one of them, and it is today. Tell you where the Titans will be challenged the most by Tampa, plus a more detailed recap of what happened yesterday. The number one thing that I loved about Cam Ward's Wednesday training camp performance. We'll talk about that next.
It's Ramon and Will here for Window Nation, man. This summer, Will, man, AC has been working overtime, I'm sure, to keep your house, mine, cool and comfortable, and just a lot of people around the mid-state, man. If you're ready to change that, go ahead and replace your old or builder-grade windows with custom-built, high-quality windows from Window Nation. Window Nation measures 3 times to ensure your windows fit perfectly and keep your home comfortable year-round. Their installation crews will finish the job in 1 day or less so you can enjoy the rest of the summer with minimum disruption.
And Ramon, they've got a great deal for the people as well. This month, you can get 50% off all window styles. Yeah, that's right. You can put 0 down, make 0 payments, and pay 0 interest for 2 years. Nothing until 2027. That's a lot of zeros. We trust Window Nation because of their A+ rating for the Better Business Bureau. The 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves the factory. Your new windows can be installed, as Ramon said, in 1 day or less. You got to call them at 866-90-NATION. You can head online to windownation.com. Don't miss out. This is Window Nation's most popular deal, and the sale ends soon. Online at windownation.com. Give them a call, 866-90-NATION. Well, Wednesday was the best we've seen from Cam Ward so far. What about it was different for the Titans rookie quarterback? Ramona Will is fueled by Scooter's Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Kicking off the show in studio this morning. And the F&M Bank chat is open on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Jim Wyatt had Cam Ward going 13 of 15 in team periods yesterday. 2 of 4 and 7 on 7 where he was not as crisp, making him 15 of 19, Ramon Foster, on the day. All three quarterbacks performed well and led touchdown drives in situational periods at the end of practice. So all three quarterbacks and three teams of Titans offenses were given a minute 52, no timeouts, needing a touchdown, starting at the 35-yard line. And Cameron Ward, with a touchdown throw to Tyler Lockett in the corner of the end zone, the near corner, not the back of the end zone, was able to efficiently lead his team down for 6. What impressed you the most about that period specifically?
They looked like a team. I felt like a solid unit so far. This is what, the second week in training camp, full week. You got a full week in pads right now also. They've taken their lumps early. I saw guys, and I told you before, I felt like they were experimenting with stuff, specifically the offensive line, the way they were setting. I listened a little bit yesterday of J.C. Latham's talking to Buck Rising. He was saying some of the stuff now, how they're communicating, and you saw that in real time yesterday too. There was a play in which those two guys, Zeitler and JC, got on the same page, and I saw it immediately, those two guys speaking. You see all the hand movement and stuff like that, trying to talk about the corrections and what they saw. I thought that was super unique, man, and having those guys look like they're taking the step, Will, in the right direction when it comes down to them growing as a unit. I saw it in the protection. I know there was pressure that was given up by those guys here and there, but they finished blocks up front, and then the running backs also played their part. Cam's had the ability yesterday to throw to the flats to those guys. He threw across the middle. He was down the seam. He threw out. You saw every variation of what looked like to me, Will, a real scenario in which football is played. It wasn't scenarios as far as third down only or first down run or tight red zone, and that was just it with two plays given to you. It was a 2-minute scenario in which they had to keep the defense out there, and they operated with efficiency. Even on the drops that they had or the places in which Cam chose to throw the football, when the clock got tight, Will, you saw the IQ step up too. He was throwing towards the sideline or guys that were in the flats that were able to get over and get out of bounds. It looked competent. When you think about what yesterday was, especially for that first unit, it wasn't any brain farts that happened. I felt like, Will, it wasn't any miscalculations of things that you had to do. Only thing that we saw show up again was, and I honestly think because he was tired, it was Arden Key batted down the ball where Cam tried to hit, I think, Tony Pollard over the middle. Like, that was the only thing, and Arden was dog tired at that point. I think he came out, remember, soon after that.
Right. How much of that comfort, Ramon, was based off of the system that Cam Ward ran in college? Having some tempo, having a lot of shotgun, spreading it out, and just playing? How much of that do you think is based off of who he was as a college quarterback and the system he comes from at Miami?
It looked exactly like it, to be honest.
It really did, didn't
it? I don't want to say like Callahan's not doing his job. No, he's doing exactly what he should do for a guy that needs to have early success as a young rookie quarterback, man, with where this team is too. He told us this earlier this year that that's their plans that they wanted to try to do is have him comfortable enough to be that guy that he was in Miami. And then here's the other part of it too. Why would you, somebody asked me yesterday actually, what made Coach A that I played for so special? And I was just like, hey, he treated everybody as they were. You're not trying to make him, the way I'm looking at Coach Callahan and Bo Hardigree also, I got to give credit to those guys and Nick Holtz. They're not trying to make him Cam Newton. They're not trying to make him Jaden Daniels. They're finding what he specializes in and elevating that even more. Now, that also came with, Will, them bluff or bringing it, right? It was all of that he had to pass those tests or at least be familiar with it. And now watching that offense yesterday, Will, he felt the pocket amazing yesterday. I thought he stepped up when he needed to. The ball got out when it had to also. And to your point, he rolled out a couple of times. I think Jeff had penetration on the right side. And it looked exactly like the plays that we saw him make against Virginia Tech or Florida, where he's throwing across his body. Now it's wide open. Chig had opportunities to make a yard after catch. It looked exactly like his Miami tape. And some people are going to say, well, this isn't college. Well, guess what? The talent translates over.
Well, it looked like the drive against Cal that he led after he'd thrown a pick and his team was down late on the road, and he led them down for a touchdown to win the game on the road.
Yep.
I mean, it was that workmanlike and methodical. And I used the word. I used the word surgical afterwards because it really felt like there was a plan going into every play. There was clear communication with the guys around him. The thing I liked, Ramon, was this was the closest to real football as we've seen Cam Ward be allowed to play in practice. Yeah. This was not scripted. This was not, like you said, just first downs or just third downs or just red zone work. It felt for a couple minutes like the Titans were playing real football.
It did.
And there's no tackling, obviously. There are still moments to where you may have broken tackles. You may have more drops when you have the fear of getting lit up on some of these things. And you may have passes over the middle that safeties are jarring loose because they could have full contact. So there is context to all of these things. But that is what excites me the most about what yesterday represented, Ramon, was that this felt like the test after all the pop quizzes Denard Wilson has given him.
Man.
Because a good teacher doesn't give you difficult things to do in class just to make themselves feel better or just to say they got one on you. They do it to what? Make you smarter.
Absolutely.
To make it easier for you when you take the standardized test, when you go into the room and take the ACT. Oh, well, class has been so hard back at school that that's easy.
Right.
That's what I kind of saw yesterday in Cam Ward was, oh, man, Denard Wilson throws so many pop quizzes at me that there's nothing that he can throw at me that I haven't at least seen a little bit of. And I'm sure there are still things that Denard hasn't totally unleashed on him. And again, he can't get hit. And there's a nervousness. There's a pressure that comes with that. But that was my big positive yesterday was the first time we've really been able to see Cam Ward play real football. He thrived.
And I want to add to that, too, as far as the thriving side of it, is him throwing the football. But yesterday, man, I felt like either the concepts of what they were running the wide receivers, specifically them, the concepts of what they were running or the pressure of them getting coached harder and the pressure of them having to make also, because there's pressure in this too, just the same as it is for the offensive line up front, of making sure Cam does look good. I thought yesterday, man, they helped butter his bread too, Will. They came back to the ball. They were very friendly to separate themselves from the cornerbacks and stuff like that too. I saw separation yesterday. I saw guys go up and high point the football where Cam may have floated it a little bit more than he should have. And when you have guys in the right position, and that's the other part of it too, Will. We speak about the Miami stuff. Cam's ability to create outside the pocket. Those guys will, and I know you saw it too, were very friendly to come back to the football. You didn't have them sitting, waiting on the ball to get there or indecisive on what was going to happen next. That's what I was also impressed by. The guys that needed the football got it. Lockett. Calvin ended up getting it. Chig ended up getting it. I think we ended up saying DK and also Ayumaner. Everybody got the ability yesterday to have the ball put in their possession, and they didn't waste reps is what I got yesterday. And watching them be very, very friendly to Cam Ward in the football.
Tyler Lockett has spoken about that a little bit because a lot of Lockett's production in Seattle was when the play broke down with Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he's played this game.
100%. 100%. And that is where I think Chig has a role to play in this offense, and I think some fans have maybe been a little quick to discount the role that fourth-year tight end Chig can have in this offense because Chig is a vertical threat who can beat a lot of linebackers and safeties just with how quick and how fast that he is, that when a play breaks down and it becomes match coverage or it becomes plastering on the back end of everything like Coach Mack always talks about, he can beat his guy. Oh. And that is going to be the type of receiver the Titans, I think, look for moving forward. It's the deep crosser ability of Chimere Dike, but it's also the improvisational ability to say, my football IQ and my level of athleticism can get vertical or just get open and play a little bit of backyard football when the time presents itself.
Yep, you got to be an athlete, basically. How quick can you turn on a dime? How flexible can you being able to catch across your body, too? Because that's the other side of being able to play with guys like Cam, or you mentioned Russell Wilson specifically. Those dudes would throw footballs in your vicinity, right? Vicinity, and having you be good enough to catch. It's the same way with Kelsey, right? We love what Kelsey is because when he finds that soft zone, if it's in or around him,
got great instincts.
He's going to catch it.
He's got great instincts to get open.
You got to be a football player when you're dealing with quarterbacks like this. This ain't no comparison to what Patrick Mahomes is, Russell Wilson is, or any of those types of things. But to play football in this style with these types of quarterbacks, you have to be able to contort your body in a way that makes it very advantageous for the offense, too, because that's where you gain those first downs. Chig had a play like that yesterday to where he was available and eyes on Cam, and lo and behold, they got Yak outside of that.
So this was a big conversation when Marcus Mariota was first starting out here about catering an offense for your young quarterback, and the Titans did well in situational drives a lot with Marcus early in his career because of the tempo he ran at Oregon and how fast that offense moved when he was competing for a national championship. Can the same be said for this offense, that tempo is the Titans' friend? That tempo is Cam Ward's friend? That maybe not even just in 2-minute drives, but overall, tempo is one way that Brian Callahan can make Cam Ward comfortable in his first NFL season?
Heck yes. That's just the reality of it, Will. I always do this because it's known in the state, and it's also our conversation. It's Heupel in his offense, right? Keeping them on the field, keeping them at the line of scrimmage, keeping the defense as transparent as you possibly can. Yes, tempo is a part of it. We saw it yesterday. Remember, I was laughing at the defense.
Yeah, they were hands on hips.
They were gassed.
There were a lot of tired defenses. Yeah, defensive players yesterday.
As long as they don't sub or every guy can't come out in those situations. And I loved it yesterday too because it was mostly ones versus ones. There was some subbing in of guys that played roles for this team, but it was ones versus ones, and that's what the season is too. As long as you are efficient and have the ball in, we get to the ball sometimes, man. Hey, on the ball, and we would just give a ready, set, and all that was we sit there for a second, catch our breath, and just all right, what they're going, we're not subbing in. Okay, now we got our play and we go. But what you find yourself doing, Will, is keeping that side of the ball defensively gas to where they got to play vanilla. They can't go to their exotic looks. If they choose to blitz you, one, you got guys that are tired on the other side of the ball, and you expose them in those moments right there. Only other thing that could have, been a cherry on top to what yesterday was is if they incorporated some runs, but it was 2 minutes. Probably only one timeout. We didn't get the full scenario.
Didn't have it? No, we did. We did after practice.
Okay.
There were no timeouts. 1:52 on the clock. Need a touchdown starting at the 30.
Couldn't run it then. You couldn't run it. You spin it through the air. But that's also confidence. As you was talking, I thought about something else too as far as catering the offense. You mentioned Marcus Mariota. Another guy that I felt like that's in this box. I'm going to name some guys that are in that box of catering offenses to them, but those guys chose that they want to do more. Okay. Vince Young should have bought into the idea that he didn't have to be a pocket guy. Be the athlete within the confines of protecting yourself. Marcus Mariota was in that conversation, I felt like.
Vince had more just issues upstairs.
And that's what I mean. Like,
the mental side of the game.
Coach Child was trying to do stuff that benefited him, right? That was the stories that I heard outside of the city. I'm looking at another guy, man, is in a very similar situation too. RG3, another guy that wanted to be a pocket passer. That's not your game. Cam Newton turned himself into one, but like his ability to be, agile outside the pocket was his strong suit. And the only reason I'm bringing that up is I'm looking at a guy like Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, you know what I'm saying? C.J. Stroud. There's a plethora of guys, even Baker Mayfield, that if you utilize your legs, there is room for you to be very, very productive in the NFL. And I'm hoping as far as Cam's introduction to this NFL, he doesn't try to deviate from what he is as a player is what I'm getting at. Josh Allen still plays rock and roll football. You know what I'm saying? Ben Roethlisberger did it for years, right? Mm-hmm. There's success when you highlight your strong parts of your game. You shouldn't try to be somebody that you're not is what I'm getting at. And Cam is the float around the pocket type of guy. And I'm hoping Callahan also pushes that narrative to him as long as he protects himself.
How will Todd Bowles' defense test and challenge Cam Ward today at 9 a.m. when joint practices begin with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
It's just going to be the newness for Cam. How quick can he process and adjust? You know what I'm saying? That to me is the biggest hurdle that he's got to get over. They're going to be yapping. They're going to be loud. They're experienced. Up the middle, Kalijah Kancey's his PFF grade is low, but you know what he did last year? 7.5 sacks from an interior defensive lineman.
6 foot 280, the third-year D tackle out of Pitt, who is still only 24 years old, by the way. And there are plenty of rookies that are entering the league at 24 years old. But you have the beef of Vita Vea, eighth-year player at 30 years old, 6'4", 347 pounds. Ooh. Next to Kalijah Kancey, who is a bit more of a Swiss Army knife to the sledgehammer next to him.
That's a great description.
I mean, honestly.
No, it is, man. There's not a more yin and yang group duo in the NFL,
and
man.
Honestly, it is a little bit of a different version. It's a little bit lighter of a version of what you want Jeffrey Simmons and Devondre Sweat to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not totally fair to Jeff to say that he is a Kalijah Kancey-like athlete because he is not 280 pounds. He's still 305. But Jeff wants to be closer to that than Vita Vea.
Yes, 100%.
And you want Devondre Sweat to be more of a Vita Vea type. And that is where the Titans see Sweat taking another step this season, is being more of a pass rush threat, meaning you're pitching in 4, 5, 6 sacks at 350-something pounds. Vita Vea is 347.
Lord. On paper, by the way.
Exactly.
Paper, by the way. But to your point, though, like that is something that Cam's going to have to adjust to today. They have pocket pushers. They have guys that know how to penetrate and get up the field. And that, to me, with the secondary that they have and the experience of Levante David across the middle, too, he's going to try to get his Cody Barton on. For him, you only got one day. What is he looked at from last year? Because the defense is still the same. That is one thing that Cam has at his disposal, though, Will. The cast of characters that Tampa has is somewhat still the same. They have the same defense, the same defensive coordinator. If I was him, I'd be watching their tape. There is the cheat code that he has that I don't think he'll have with a team like Jacksonville. Like, you're not sure what Jacksonville's going to give you until you actually see their 2025 tape.
Tampa's sack rate last season, 7.3%, 16th in the NFL. So they were exactly average in terms of sacking the quarterback. The number 18 total yardage defense in the NFL a season ago. 29th against the pass, though. Some holes in the secondary that you can exploit. They bring in Hassan Reddick on a 1-year, $14 million deal. Only 1 sack in 10 games. All that stuff well documented with the New York Jets last season. But he was terrific in Philadelphia for 2 years, including 11 sacks in 2023, really not that long ago. 59 career sacks for him. On the other side of the football, we'll talk more about it as the show goes on, but they re-signed guard Ben Bredesen, but it's a young offensive line. You have Graham Barton, the Ravenwood Raptor, so 2 Ravenwood Raptors down there practicing in Tampa between him and Van Jefferson. Cody Mauch, the converted tackle from North Dakota State that you were watching at the Senior Bowl just a couple of years ago. But without Tristan Wirfs at left tackle, who was coming back from an offseason injury, Charlie Heck, who is a 49ers or former 49ers backup, is the temporary left tackle. Really interested to see what the Titans' defensive front can do against a young offensive line without their best player on the field, because right now, Ramon, on paper, that offensive line is not excellent.
No, it's not. Without Wirfs, they don't have
really
the same
young
sting there. In these situations, this is where Arden and Femi Oladejo got exposed Tristan Wirfs back up right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have the cohesion there. And also, I think it's a big test for a guy like Jeff. Like, Cody Mauch is a bruiser. He's a guy that wants to get in the mix, you know what I'm saying? And how can he beat one of those guys who end up getting a new contract himself? Also, this is good on good still, in my opinion. And it's also the other side of it is you got one practice. There is no tomorrow as it pertains to, I'll get you then. No. They got to go get it right now.
615-737-1045 is our number as we wrap up hour 1. Coming up next, shifting gears for a moment to some college football headlines. Ramon, Tennessee is not the only SEC team with a big injury concern and one important position on the offense. So we'll talk about that next.
Is your concrete in need of repair? Maybe your sidewalk has been shifting on you, your driveway cracked or sinking, or your porch steps, maybe they've moved. Shifted concrete can create a dangerous situation and trip hazard around your home. It's also just a big eyesore. Ramon Foster, whatever's going on with your concrete, call United Structural Systems. Ask them about their polyurethane foam injections. You've heard about USS for a long time. It's the same company that has provided superior foundation repair and waterproofing to Middle Tennessee since 1994. Well, they can also fix your sunken or settling concrete. USS uses polyurethane foam injections to lift and repair your sinking concrete in a matter of minutes. Lifted concrete can be walked on immediately or even driven on after 30 minutes. So don't go through that long, expensive process of ripping out and replacing concrete. Reach out to the company I know for a free estimate, man, and that's United Structural Systems. You can go to their website at ussTN.com. That's ussTN.com, or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up hour number 1, 615-737-1045. It's streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV. So Tennessee football has a wide receiver injury issue. Chris Brazzell has not practiced fully with his teammates yet over at Vols Fall Camp. You've got Mike Matthews, who's missed a couple of days. Now he's back. Then he gets back. Braylon Staley is then out. Well, Ramon Foster, I'm here to tell you that Tennessee is not alone in its wide receiver injury issues. Yesterday, according to Gators Online and On3, the Florida Gators went down another wide receiver in camp themselves, as star freshman Dallas Wilson is the latest injury at the position. He is sidelined with a lower leg injury and will be out for, quote, a couple of weeks, according to sources. The top 50 recruit who had 195 receiving yards, a school record in the orange and blue game. It's crazy how that happens and nobody snatches him up in the portal. Wow, coaches, seriously. You can actually have good spring games. I digress. He is the latest of also a big group of Florida Gators wide receivers who are a little banged up right now.
Man, we talked a little bit in our group chats like they just like us. Like this is also the other part of getting ready for the season too is health. That matters, man. With no game, no ability to have somebody else step in and get live reps, like not having your guys available, I think, hurts you more in college because you got young quarterbacks, you got young offenses that got to figure out what their guys going to be able to do. And there's time to get back and get healthy. But what are we, 3 weeks away from the kickoff right now? Under 3 weeks at this point? You need those guys getting as many reps as they possibly can. I know that's somebody that our good friend Ben Troop has been bragging about, man, as far as the young wide receiver at Florida. Speaking of him, like he's Ryan Williams, like he's got some it factor to him. Considering what's happening also with DJ Lagway, getting him healthy. It seems to me they got a sports medicine problem down there at Florida with keeping guys on the field. But this is training camp woes right here that happen in these moments. But they have a quarterback that they're expecting a lot out of, and having their wide receivers not be readily available, that really hurts Billy Napier and what he's got going on. I saw just a little bit of the Netflix special that they're running, the SEC.
Yeah. I'm on the 4th episode.
Yeah, I'm on the 3rd. He's kind of up on it a good, but no, I'm on the 2nd. Billy Napier got, I think, introduced in the 2nd one. Yes.
The second one is the Florida episode.
Yeah, he's up against it, man. He's still got to show improve because that beginning of the season woes that he had last year will creep up if they can't get off to a quick start.
So Eugene Wilson, Trey Wilson, as they know him as well, different receiver, veteran guy who was banged up last year. He is recovering from hip surgery that forced him to miss the final month of the season. Aiden Mizell, very young, talented wide receiver who Tennessee lost a recruiting battle against Florida in. He's banged up. He is in a non-contact jersey at Florida practice, and it is all UCLA transfer J. Michael Sturdivant, who is the guy at the moment, and he is the one that Florida is really relying on. They are such an interesting team this year, Moan, because I do feel like their ceiling is playoff. I mean, heck, I think their ceiling is even top 4 or Final 4 or Final 8 this season. But there's so many injury question marks across the roster, and especially at quarterback.
It is.
And the shoulder stuff with DJ Lagway and things that were important enough to hold him out from throwing for all of spring practice. If he goes down, it's the Harrison Bailey show. That's their backup quarterback.
Love that.
Former Tennessee quarterback Harrison Bailey, who transferred to UNLV and spent some time at Georgia Tech after he left the Vols. I mean, their entire season hinges on DJ Lagway staying healthy for a full year.
The other part about Lagway, in my personal opinion, too, is those last 6 games, there was context, to be added in those too. 1-score wins and everything else that's involved in it. You mentioned the shoulder being an issue for DJ Lagway in itself. He's known as a mobile guy. His ability will to
he's gonna take hits.
To your point, stay healthy with that shoulder.
He's 6'4", 240.
That's what I'm saying. Like that plays a part into his legend moving forward. And you know what I always say, man, year one, the second half of the season, all right, yeah, you can shock us. You can surprise us in those moments. This year, too, there's an expectation of having him out there. There will be defense game plans that are for him specifically. And the other part of it, too, quarterbacks aren't as protected as they are in the NFL. He's going to get popped. He's got to show his ability to protect himself and also his durability throughout the course of the season, too, for a guy that has so much talent. And I think there's a lot weighing on him. They started off that Netflix special. Graham Mertz is quite funny. You can tell he was on top of the world at the time. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of pressure being a Florida quarterback. They had all, Tim Tebow there, which there is. They've had Heisman winners there. And DJ Lagway can put himself in that conversation if he goes and prove it.
Not a major concern the first week of August, but something to monitor with a number of receivers injured there as well, 3 of them to be specific, because of how quickly Florida's season starts with the toughest part of their schedule. A 4-week span from weeks 3 through 6 of LSU, Miami, both on the road, Texas, and Texas A&M on the road.
If y'all
starts quickly.
Yes, it does. And here's the other part, too. I'm going to just be fully transparent. If y'all think I'm praying on Florida's downfall, I am. Don't think I didn't smile.
Nobody doubted that.
Yeah, don't think I didn't smile, man, with the issues that they got going on right now. Like, Florida got real expectations, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm into the competitive side of what the SEC is, but if we got issues, I'm hoping you got more than we do at this point. And Florida's got a good bit of them, even though they got a strong team. Billy Napier's got a show this year.
I mean, the quarterback position at Florida comes with major expectations, like you said. They documented that well in that documentary, which I like, by the way. I'm enjoying it so far, other than the behind the scenes of Arkansas's upset over Tennessee. But
I ain't made it there yet.
You'll get there. But between Steve Spurrier, Danny Warfel, and Tim Tebow and the Heisman winners they've had at quarterback. When Florida is good, it's because they have elite quarterback play. Yeah. And that is why there are the expectations down there that there are, because they feel like they have elite quarterback play again. And, I mean, heck, you can still make the argument that Tim Tebow's one of the best 3 or 4 college football players of all time with what he did. So, fascinating team, gauntlet of a schedule, and still a lot of pressure around Billy Napier.
It is. And there's expectation also. They got the recruits. They hit the transfer portal the way they needed to. And he's got a full calendar year with no quarterback controversy at this point. So they got Harrison Bailey, you said? That's
the backup quarterback?
Backup quarterback. Yeah, this is the DJ show.
And now in the transfer portal era, you've got to go sign guys that know their backups.
Yeah.
Especially a quarterback.
Absolutely.
615-737-1045. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell on ESPN talking about ESPN's ownership of NFL properties. Dropped a nugget yesterday that's got me excited. We'll talk about that next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Good people, nobody wants to deal with a plumbing, HVAC, or an electrical emergency. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost you or if it'll get fixed right, or if somebody's just trying to sell you something you don't need. When you call Hiller or use their website, their experts are going to solve your problems quickly. And the price you're told is also the price that you'll actually pay. There are no hidden fees or surprises when you get your bill. They practice true transparency, man. They have been in business for over 35 years and are family owned and operated. You've seen the trucks around town, man. They're on schedule. Their techs, very professional, experienced, and trustworthy, and they're all background checked and drug screened too. When they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of the tech and track them in real time, so you're not sitting around waiting for somebody to show up to your house. Their motto has always been, happy you'll be or the service is free. I personally book with Hiller if I have an issue around my home, man. If you want to also to learn more about them, simply visit their website at happyhiller.com.
It is 7 a.m. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans are in Tampa Bay for joint practice this morning with the Buccaneers at 9 a.m. when they will get started as they prepare for the first preseason game this Saturday night with kickoff at 6:30 p.m. local time. Head coach Brian Callahan spoke to the media yesterday and talked about the challenge the Titans defense will face this week in Tampa.
We get a chance to go against two, I think, really talented offensive teams when you look at their roster and their talent. And Tampa Bay was a playoff team last year. They won 10 games. They've done a really good job. So to go against Baker and that skill group they have there, which is incredibly talented, it's a good offensive line. It's going to be a great test for us. And that's why I look forward to these joint practices is you get to measure against somebody else and you get to see how you respond against different competition in a different color jersey.
Tonight, a 3-game slate of NFL preseason games as the Indianapolis Colts are in Baltimore, and they will take on the Ravens at 6 p.m. Central Time on NFL Network. The Cincinnati Bengals are in Philadelphia to take on the Eagles at 6:30, and the Las Vegas Raiders are in Seattle to take on the Seahawks at 9 p.m. Central Time on NFL Network. In Major League Baseball last night, Los Angeles Dodgers do-it-all two-way superstar Shohei Ohtani hit his 1,000th career hit on a go-ahead 2-run home run in the third inning against the St. Louis Cardinals. Ohtani struck out a season-high 8 batters in 4 innings pitched, but it was the Cardinals who rallied late to secure the 5-3 victory. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, kicking off hour 2 on this Thursday morning. Here at this show, we know it is Friday Junior. Hope you're having a good one. Glad you've decided to join us. And hope you stick around. Coming up in 20 minutes, Taylor Zarzour, voice of the Titans. Check it in from Tampa Bay before Titans practice gets started. Then at 7:40, Titans television preseason analyst Charles Davis going to stop by. Talk to him about what he hopes to see from the team on Saturday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Coming up at 8:40 today, Brian Callahan meets with the media. Practice will get started at 9. We are here in Nashville. Ramon Foster. The Inside Cats are back inside.
Yeah, we are. I'm glad to be in the studio, man. I love being outside. But, hey, put me in some AC, Will, with some mics that are really good and a studio I'm comfortable in. I tell you what, somebody keeps stealing our coffee filter out the break room.
That's right.
We're going to have some furniture movement around here, Will.
I was going to say, I was more excited to be in studio because we can go make our scooters coffee.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, somebody has taken the coffee filter once again.
I will set up a camera in there to watch who's stealing the coffee filter holder.
Lawlessness happening when we leave this building, and somebody's going to answer for it.
It's not okay. Basically. Somebody. We are adults around here, is what I'm telling you. Somebody's going to get waterboarded if I find out who's doing it.
Coffee boarded.
Yes, Jayhawk. Coffeegate is going on right now.
Did you hear this from Roger Goodell the other day talking about red zone? So if you missed it, ESPN and their ownership of NFL properties, of the deal between ESPN and the National Football League. The league now owns 10% of ESPN. ESPN acquiring NFL Network properties, all of these things. So there was concern, Ramon, that NFL Red Zone was going to change. NFL Red Zone was going to be adjusted. Well, this was Roger Goodell going on SportsCenter just the other day this week talking about why Red Zone is not going to change, but there might be an opportunity to recreate Red Zone.
Well, one of the most popular elements of NFL programming has been Red Zone. It's a staple for NFL fans. What is that going to look like now under this new partnership?
Well, that'll actually stay the same. It'll continue to be produced right here in this building. It will be the NFL Red Zone. I don't think fans will see any difference to that. Obviously, in the context of that, though, ESPN purchased the Red Zone name, and they will be able to utilize that for other sports, college football and other things. And I think that could be an exciting thing for our fans also to see a Red Zone maybe in college football or other sports. That's something that they now own and have the ability to do that. But as far as Red Zone, NFL Red Zone, there won't be any changes for our fans.
Well, it's an absolute staple. That's good news. And expanding that, that's pretty fascinating.
There you go.
Wow.
Potential for a college football red zone, because the NFL has now given the naming rights to ESPN as a part of this major merger, which probably won't be finalized until the end of 2026 at the earliest.
Good. I'll say this, too. I've always thought, respectfully, I say this because the league is cool. I've always thought the NFL Network's coverage, production, I thought was a step or two behind all the other ones. I don't have the want to tune into them is the way I look at it. I'm not sure what ESPN is going to do with the NFL Network and how they really package it up and send it back out to the, to the consumers that are watching it. But I've always thought they got to find a better way to present that for it to be the NFL. So I like the move. I'm hoping it looks good. But them adding more legs to it as far as the college side, well, it intrigues me. Most definitely. I can't wait to see what it looks like, especially on Saturday with so many games. I get caught up with just watching one game at a time in college. But having that ability to have 4 or 5 games on at one time, or having the ability to see the action of it all, I'm into that. Most definitely. I'm talking about like South Carolina Old Dominion game. Yeah, tune me in, man.
It would be fantastic. Who should host it?
Who should host it? Ooh.
Scott Hansen's a little tied up on Sundays.
Yeah.
Who would be the best host for a college football red zone?
McAfee.
Oh, no. Please, no. Please, gosh, no.
Yeah.
I'm good.
That's what they're going to do.
My name is Will Bollig, and I suffer from Pat McAfee fatigue. I don't dislike Pat McAfee as much as many others do. I just think that he is spread so thin enough that we need to give jobs to other people. Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. That's the only person that comes to mind right now that has the energy to be back and forth and in and out of the games like that. I hope they don't. If to that same point, I'm hoping that they don't have his whole set up there to where it's just his friends talking and just being in that space like that he does on his show. Pat's the only guy that come to mind right now, though. A run, Slay.
All right. Well, heck, I'd watch grass grow. I'd watch Grass Zone with Slay. It'd be entertaining. He could make anything entertaining.
100%, man.
One commenter on YouTube says Greg Olson.
Greg Olson.
You kind of need someone who is more of a point A to point B, like traditional broadcaster. Mm-hmm. Like you could add analysts as a part of it, maybe, as people kind of like the Manning cast does to sit in for a little bit. But as difficult as that job is, and as many voices are in your head, I like the Greg Olson suggestion. But
say Greg.
I mean, friend of the station and Nashville's own Josh Pate would be my pick.
I thought about Pate.
Who, congrats to him, just making the move over to Yahoo and On3. Big news earlier
Big time for him. Look at Yahoo getting in that space, man.
And our good friend Stephen Godfrey as well, joining Ross Dellinger and Andy Staples for a podcast called The College Football Inquirer. Yeah. Andy would be terrific for that, I think, as well.
Man,
Andy Staples is the host of College Football Red Zone, would crush that.
Is that the next partnership, ESPN and On3? Because they have the college football ear. On3 has it.
I think On3 is doing just fine.
I know they are, but TV and On3 is a different conversation at that point, though.
It'd be interesting, though. Like, who could pull something like that off? Like, are you willing to take one of your play-by-play broadcasters and put them on that, like a college football red zone show, versus have them do a game? Like, would Joe Tessitore do a college football red zone? Because I think Joe Tess would crush that.
Yeah,
I think Joe is the type that really cares about the sport, cares about, the everything around it. Honestly, Reese Davis would also be terrific because Reese is deep within the weeds of traditions of teams and understanding of culture, and just he is in the weeds. He is a college football junkie.
Kirk Herbstreit.
Kirk's got kids. His number one job is the number one game analyst.
Yeah.
His dog. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he definitely put the dog up there.
Put one of Kirk's golden retrievers up there, just play a college football game.
For real. It would be.
There are worse ideas.
Talking about grabbing a different demographic. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, you're killing it then.
No, I think Reese Davis would be the slam dunk.
Tessitore, Reese Davis. The other part of it, who wants that work, too?
A ton of people.
Yeah. I mean, the check that comes with it. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
You want a mainstay, not a rotation, though, too? Of the person that's hosting it?
Yeah, no, you need one. You need one voice. You need a signature voice to host a college football red zone. So again, the reporting around this says that this is not something that's imminent. It's not something that's going to happen this year for sure. But Roger Goodell saying that as a part of the ESPN NFL merger where the NFL now owns 10% of ESPN, and ESPN gets all of the NFL Network properties for their direct-to-consumer bundle that's about to launch. They bought the naming rights to Red Zone. I mean, heck, we could see a college basketball Red Zone. Now that should be hosted by Ron Slay and Ron Slay.
It should, easily.
If ESPN does a college basketball Red Zone during like conference championship week,
easily,
or in the middle of March, on like imagine a Super Tuesday college basketball Red Zone.
Light work right
Big
there
Monday,
for Savage.
college basketball Red Zone.
Oh, my gosh. That's light work for Savage, man.
Would be fantastic.
Wouldn't even go to sleep, Will. I wouldn't even have to go to sleep if you put Ron Slay on that one, man.
It'd be terrific.
Are we selling him out? Yes, we are.
Absolutely.
100% we are selling him out.
We'll always promote our guy.
I like that idea. I don't know who it is right now, but it should be fun, whoever it's going to be. I can't think of anybody else that come to mind right now, too.
I mean, Reese Davis is the slam dunk.
Reese is the guy.
I really think so.
I'll do it if they give me the private jet life.
We did have Vandy Man in the chat say Ramon and Will.
That'd be crazy. Duck he suggested you, Will. I do think you're that talented, though. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Well, you're very kind.
Yeah, I know, but I'm serious about that too.
I'll be on a plane with the Tennessee Titans on Saturday, so I would be unavailable.
You would also leave that plane and go do game day for them.
I haven't done my first game yet. I'm not trying to leave. I'm grateful to do a dream job.
Always stacking the resume, Will, is what I would tell you, man. Always.
Duck on YouTube does mention ESPN goal line used to be a thing where they would do this a little bit. Yeah, no, it was cool. It was not full red zone. Like it wasn't 7 hours commercial free. Like it wasn't as good as Red Zone. Nothing's as good as Red Zone.
Sound like a disgusting.
Red Zone is the no, and it was fine. It was fine. Red Zone's the best our country has to offer, and I don't just mean in sports. Like NFL Red Zone is the best of America.
You know what?
That's our best export to the people.
I've never been able to watch it. Really.
We've had this conversation before, and I can't believe it.
Like I'm into what you're saying it is, but I've told you before. My mindset has been whole games because that's how I watch tape. That's how I look at like the good, the bad. The excitement of watching Red Zone, I get that opportunity now this fall for the first time in all of my life to be able to sit back and watch Red Zone.
I'm interested in what you think.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what the excitement of it is now moving forward.
No, it's the best.
No, it's not.
That when Scott Hansen comes on and says, it's the witching hour where wins become losses and losses become wins. It's the best our country has to offer.
I wonder who's also got their Sunday ticket purchases already, too, for this upcoming season.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Coming up, Taylor Zarzour, voice the Titans from Tampa, checks in with us next.
It's Ramon Foster for Princess Hot Chicken, man. Princess is the Nashville hot chicken, the originator, okay, man? It's been a staple in this community for almost 100 years, starting with the first location on Jefferson Street at Princess Hot Chicken Shack, man. But as it has evolved to multiple locations all over Middle Tennessee, man, you can get them in the airport. We've stopped there before. You can get them at the Assembly Food Hall also. Tanger Outlets is where we were this past weekend. It's Princess and myself, along with Brian's Motorsports and Rand Carthon, also had a shoe drive, man. Awesome. Princess is Nashville and gives back to Nashville at all times, man. But you know this too. Sometimes you evolve. It may be called Princess Hot Chicken, but they also have vegan and vegetarian options. Yes, you can still go get that hot, but in different ways. They also have the portobello wraps, chickpea salad sandwiches, and more. And to add to what Princess is offering you, they can cater for you from 15 people up to 1,000 plus. No party is too big for them. They can customize anything for your high-end event to your tailgate. And we love a good tailgate, man, because football season is kicking off. I'm talking about high school, middle school football if you want to get in on it. And they also have immaculate sides to the mac and cheese, potato salad, baked beans, seasoned fries, greens, and coleslaw. So much, man, from the original Nashville hot chicken, man. When you go to the location, all I ask you to do is this. Just make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooters Coffee, locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. With Ramon Foster, I'm Will Bowling, joined this morning from Tampa by the voice of the Titans, Taylor Zarzour. A new era on the field and on the airwaves of Titans radio this weekend. Taylor, what's going on? Good morning.
It's an exciting time for you, Will, an exciting time for me, an exciting time for Ramon. I got pretty fired up watching Mike Keith do voicers yesterday, talking about Ramon and him calling the Vols this season with Tennessee, Syracuse coming up. So all three of us have an exciting time, but yeah, we're pumped for the Titans to practice against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers here in just a little while, and then play them in a preseason game on Saturday night. And of course, that'll be heard right here and across the entire region. And man, this is a chance of a lifetime for me and for you. But I think most importantly, I think Titans fans are excited to see what 2025 in the future brings.
We are pumped, no doubt about it. And I think fans too, Taylor, are pumped after what Cam Ward did at practice yesterday. What impressed you the most with the way Cam moved the offense down the field? And is it fair to say that's as good as we've seen from Cam so far from what's been open to the media in training camp?
Yeah, I think so, just because they're in pads and the defense, and, you know, Denard Wilson, the defensive coordinator for the Titans, is throwing a bunch of different stuff at the offense and has continued to do that throughout camp. Yes, I think that given how effective he was and how effective the offense was, especially in that 2-minute drill to really end practice yesterday, I would understand why any Titans fan walked away from that encouraged and said, okay, that's what I wanted to see. But the other thing that I really liked is just some of the emotion, the passion that we saw from Cam. He's an even keel guy. And most people that know me know that I have quite the golf background and have done a lot of golf broadcasting. Cam Ward reminds me of Scotty Scheffler. He's just so even keel all the time, and he has been the last couple of months throughout practice. So to see him celebrate after finding Van Jefferson on a 3rd and goal to go situation and throw a touchdown pass to him, or to celebrate with Tyler Lockett at the end of that 2-minute drill yesterday, was really good to see. Not only were they effective in executing the offense, there was some juice to the practice yesterday. So overall, I thought it was a really good day for the Titans.
We're joined by voice of the Titans, Taylor Zarzour, this morning. Taylor, this is their first big test, man, when it comes down to going against somebody else, and they got a joint practice today. The expectation is it should be spicy, but coming out of this, what is something that you want to see from the offensive unit also? Because the optimism that they had in Nashville, you know, it's got to be somewhat the same build-up down in Tampa in these joint practices. What do you expect from that, guys? You mentioned Cam Ward being like Scotty Scheffler in these moments.
Yeah, that sounds like a guy that played offensive line in the National Football League for a decade, who is ready to practice against another team. All right, we did it against each other. Let's see if we can do it against somebody else. And my man, Coach Mack, Dave McGinnis, the lead analyst for the Titans, yesterday on that plane ride, he was like, man, you just wait until Todd Bowles, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but a defensive wizard in the National Football League for decades, wait till he starts dialing up some things that Cam Ward and this offense haven't seen before. I want to see how unfazed Cam is going up against another team and going against somebody that has the mind that Todd does. I want to see him still be effective, and it's not just him. I want to see Calvin Ridley and the rest of this receiving core look as good as they have the last few weeks. Io Manor, I think, very quickly could become one of the go-to receivers for the Titans this year. Sort of quietly, Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard have had a really good camp. Let's see how they do today going up against another football team. So, I mean, those would be the big things. Offensive line-wise, I've been pretty impressed by what we've seen so far in Titans camp. I think it's significantly better than what we saw last year from the Titans, and I understand a lot of you would say they had nowhere to go but up, but they have gone up. Dan Moore has been great at left tackle. J.C. Latham looks like he should be playing right tackle. You know, the big question is Lloyd Cushenberry, when will he come back at center? But Corey Levin has held his own at that position throughout camp. So I would want to see the same sort of execution we saw yesterday. I'd want to see it again today against Tampa Bay, and I can promise you that's what Brian Callahan, the head coach of the Titans, wants.
Taylor, when this team takes the field on Saturday night, where is the position battle you are most interested in watching in preseason football?
I want to ask you the same question.
Okay.
I think there are 5 or 6 different places on the field that we can pick, but
Sure.
I'll just pick this one. I'll go with receiver. James Prochet II has had a really good camp for the Titans, and I think going into this, no one really looked at him and said he's going to make the team. Now everybody weeks later is saying, man, James Prochet could make the team. On the depth chart, they're listing him as the first return man for the Titans. Maybe we'll see him in some other special teams ways. Maybe I'm sure we will on Saturday night, but maybe he's a guy that they can count on the regular season to catch passes. I want to see how that shakes out. Does Prochet beat out a Mason Kinsey or a Jaquan Jackson, or does he beat out Xavier Restrepo? How does the receiving core shake itself out? That's kind of what's interesting to me to watch. How about you?
I would go linebacker, Taylor, because I feel like yesterday I noticed Cedric Gray pop up. I thought he had a good practice yesterday overall. In a position, Taylor, that really was a big battle between James Williams, Otis Reese, Anfernee Orji, the guy they bring in from Vanderbilt here locally by way of the Saints. And Cedric Gray and James Williams in there. And James Williams has been so good. It's a good problem to have, right? That he's kind of taken control of that spot next to Cody Barton. We've talked so much, Taylor, with Coach Mack about how that is a position you just have to evaluate when you can see them take a guy to the ground. And I'm excited to see the full tackling, the full run fits, the full physicality of the inside linebacker position, because that is as tough as any position to evaluate when you can't have the full display of tackling in practice.
And it's clear that Denard Wilson wants guys that are fast with the football.
Right.
I mean, guys that are converted safeties. Cody Barton years ago was a safety, and now he's a linebacker. James Williams most recently was a safety, and now he's a linebacker. So to your point, they want to get to the football fast. They want to be the elite run-stopping defense in the National Football League. Certainly they want to have a good pass rush, too, and they have to improve that if they're going to be a complete defense. But you can tell they're going to crush stopping the run. They're going to do that first, and then they're going to work on everything else.
I love it. Voice of the Titans, Taylor Zarzour joining us. He is in high demand and got another interview to do out in East Tennessee this morning, so we will let him go. We are told it is like already in the upper 90s down there, Taylor. So
we got the white shirt on today. Yeah, we're going to be sweating bullets down here in Tampa, but man, where else would you rather be?
That's right.
Awesome. It's great. It's an exciting day for the Titans. I can't believe how many times they fed me on that flight yesterday that lasted an hour and a half. I mean, you guys, my goodness, Ramon,
Taylor,
you guys don't miss any meals on these flights. It's unbelievable.
I tell everybody, the NFL is fantasy land. You don't get treated like this, man, nowhere else. You don't.
My goodness, I don't ever want to leave this hotel. The 4th floor has more food on it right now than I've ever seen. Unbelievable.
The coolest part, though, is landing and seeing the police split like traffic for you. It is by far the most unreal thing ever. It's like nobody stops.
Overtaken Tampa, my friend.
Yeah.
What we have so far, so it's going to be fun. We'll get down here, my man.
Looking forward to it. Appreciate you, Taylor. Thanks so much.
All right, see you, boys.
Thanks.
All right, there's Taylor Zarzour with us. Quick check-in this morning.
That is, I'm telling you, that's what keeps you winning.
That's right.
Well,
that's why when you talk about how, that's what you really miss about doing or being a pro athlete.
I mean,
that part of it?
You land, you walk to the plane, a 747, 737, whichever 777.
A lot of
okay. There's meals for you when you get on. The flight attendants bring you more if you want it. There's snacks on there. There's the Wi-Fi. There's everything that you want. And then you land, you go to charter buses with a police escort in the middle of traffic, Will, and there's no waiting for you. When I saw it was real was even a little bit last year, going to Chicago. Chicago probably got some of the worst traffic in the world.
Yeah.
And we're just breezing through the middle of the interstate. It's not real life.
I like it. It's going to feel weird. First time being a part of that. I'm looking forward to it.
I want a dissertation when you get back after the first time on the team playing.
We got 4 hours Monday morning.
Listen, it is so
to talk
cool.
about the Titans and then maybe the, 10 minutes of it
No,
can
I
be
want
devoted to my
your
experience.
experiences because you're not. I say this with respect. You're an outsider going into this world.
Very much so an outsider, yes.
Wait till you see the differences.
Questions on YouTube ask when practice starts. So Brian Callahan will meet with the media at 8:40 this morning. Practice is scheduled to begin at 9 o'clock. Buck Rising going to join his own show in the noon hour to talk about what happens at practice because he will be in the same boat as us, except that he doesn't have a full microphone set up down there, that practice will be happening during his show.
And to be quite honest, Buck is going to let you know if they suck today because he was too complimentary yesterday. Everybody was looking. I saw somebody say, it was a good day when Buck has to say it was a good day. Like, yeah, if they are bad, boy, he can't wait to get the whip out.
Blair on YouTube says, Ramon and Will, y'all should be in Tampa. That ain't right. Hey, man, we're just trying to get our coffee ground holders back so we can make coffee in our own studio. We've got
to fight one battle at a time.
One battle at a time.
It's called a budget, okay? We got to figure that one out.
Apparently it's lacking.
Yeah. Well, one thing that was put out yesterday that we have not discussed on these airwaves yet, Ramon.
What's that?
About another job that you've added.
Oh.
On something you're going to be doing this weekend.
Yeah, man.
You're going to be doing Steelers preseason this weekend.
I, too, am hitting the road.
Yes, you are.
I, too, am hitting the road, man. Pittsburgh has been, they've been throwing bait out there for a few years now since I retired. And I took the Titans job. And then with me not being on the sideline now, I've opened up for a few weekends. And Pittsburgh Steelers asked me to come up and do preseason games for them. Not just the radio side. They asked me to do TV pre and post game. And I'll still be their sideline reporter for radio during the game also.
I love it. So we're splitting up. We're both sideline reporters for NFL preseason broadcasts.
Look at us. Give me a little bit.
Who'd have thought? It's amazing.
That's pretty cool. So I was geeked about it. They released it a little bit yesterday very quickly. And just flying under the radar, Will. Oh, how many jobs is that now?
Middle school football coach, NFL PA, important person. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone.
Will.
The Vol Network.
That's
4.
And now the Steelers job.
Yep. Steelers
sideline. And I feel like I'm leaving one out somewhere.
I mean, Taylor has still invited you to help out with draft coverage on Titans Radio this next spring.
I know. Both of us going to Mobile and Indianapolis.
Who's to say?
Oh, and my podcast in Pittsburgh. I got that too.
We'll say at least 6 jobs.
At least 6 jobs. I retired.
Now you're just tired.
I'm just, see, that's why I got you, dog.
615-737-1045. Coming up, Charles Davis going to stop by. We go from the radio broadcaster of the Tennessee Titans here on Titans Radio to television analyst Charles Davis. Excited to get his thoughts on what he has seen from camp so far, what he wants to see on Saturday. Always love catching up with Vol for Life and Titans TV analyst Charles Davis, who joins us coming up next.
What's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home, man? I'll tell you, it's settling for less money. You just feel weird about it, man. But that never happens with Orchard. Disappointing offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. But you don't have to settle when you sell with Orchard. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sell and helping you sell on the market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front so you can buy and move into your new home. Then on your timeline, it's no waiting, no showings, no double moves. And when you're once settled in, Orchard Agent helps sell your home on the market for top dollar too. Here's what one Orchard customer had to say. I could have never sold without Orchard. I made more than I expected, and it couldn't have been any easier. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Well, guess what? Visit orchard.com to get your free home valuation. Again, that's orchard.com.
Maxed out on credit cards? Struggling with high interest debt? Well, you could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's rapid, equity loan. What's going on? It's Will Bowling. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. This rapid equity loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. There's one Loan Pronto client who just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt. They renovated their kitchen. They cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That is a major turnaround that you can take advantage of with Loan Pronto. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity, it's yours, so use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. 615-499-5780. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Their service, it's off the charts. Call now to start the conversation, 615-499-5780. That's loanpronto.com, 615-499-5780. Get debt relief now at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, NMLS, consumeraccess.org. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone. Wrapping up the first half of your Thursday morning. Titans hitting the practice field in just over an hour from Tampa. Alongside the NFL vet, Ramon Foster, I'm Will Bowling. Pleased to be joined this morning with a man you will see and hear when the Titans take on the Bucs on News 2. Preseason television analyst, Vol for Life, Charles Davis, joining us this morning. Charles, what's going on? How are you?
I'm doing great. Hope you guys are well.
Doing well.
We're talking about football. We got practices to talk about. We got a game Saturday. Charles, it's hard not to be doing well this time of year, isn't it?
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. Everybody's fired up. You can't beat it.
No. Yes, sir. Hard not to get fired up as well with how good Cam Ward was yesterday at Titans training camp. What has impressed you about Cam so far, Charles, and what kind of test will Todd Bowles throw at him this weekend as he plays against a different color uniform for the first time in his young NFL career?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see because, preseason, Ramon will tell you, the old rules were you didn't show a lot in preseason. You didn't throw a lot at people. It's basically pretty vanilla in what you did. The whole idea was make it simple for everyone. Take care of your opponent so you don't throw some incredible exotic blitz and they lose a quarterback quickly, right? Mm-hmm. And you just want to keep it simple, let people play fast and show if they can play. I don't know that it's quite the same as it used to be, Ramon. I feel like more and more people, when I watch these preseason games and do them, that they do throw a few more things at people. Mm-hmm. And that now comes under the heading of, well, we got to find out if they've learned what we've taught them. So the rules have changed, but everyone is adapting and changing. So, Will, to your point and to your question, it will be interesting to see how Todd Bowles approaches this one because the Todd Bowles we know has just blitzed someone, from the kitchen table. That's how he does things. So that'll be interesting to see if he wants to show any of that, if he wants to run any of that, and then how Cam will pick it up. The first part of the question we asked, what impresses me most about him, is spending time with him is just who he is. He's a pretty mature kid, and I know we throw that word around a lot, but I'm very big on, does this person know who they are? Like Tim Tebow, he wakes up every morning and has not a single question in his mind about who Tim Tebow is. He's very secure in who he is, very, 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 very convicted about who he is, the whole deal, right? I wake up in the morning and go, okay, who are you today, dummy? and that's not the way I want to live. I want to live more like Tebow. I want to have conviction. I feel like Cam Ward is more like that, and I don't mean in the same way. I'm not talking about the same personality, the same beliefs. I'm just talking Cam Ward has been through it as a player. Cam Ward has had the people not believe in him. But let's not get it totally twisted now. He's also had plenty of people believe in him, and that's why some of these things have happened, right? They didn't believe in him, and, coming out of high school, he goes to Incarnate Word. They believed in him enough that he beat out an incumbent quarterback who was essentially all conference. All right? As a freshman, they allowed that to happen because they believed in him. When the offensive coordinator went to Washington State, he believed in him and said, come with me. Let's do this. You see? So there's a big part of that narrative that it's a lot more fun to talk about where people didn't believe and he's dispelling this and dispelling that. I'm a big believer in, well, someone had to believe in him to tell him to come to these places. And they did, and boy, he made it all pay off.
We're talking about Charles Davis this morning. CD, when you look at what Cam Ward is as a quarterback, you yourself, I don't think many people know this, was a former quarterback also. So you understand what it looks like, what it's supposed to be out there. Yeah. Is Cam Ward the perfect guy for where the Titans are in this? And it's okay to say it. I know this rebuild with what you've seen from him in practice. Is he the perfect guy for what you know?
Yeah, it's hard to get to perfect, but he's in the mold of the right guy, that's for sure. He's what you're looking for. Just what I talked about, a person who believes in himself, understands himself, has the confidence to take on this heavy lift that's occurring right now, wants to be great. You've all heard the stories. I'm sure you've recounted them already, the 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m. meetings and who wants to sit in with me and learn more, all those things. This is and really embraces the idea that he's going to be the face of this franchise, and especially when they get to that point where they get good again on the field, open up the new stadium, and are a factor like they're supposed to be. I think he's the right one. I mean, he had the confidence to come in, and he understood what he was dealing with Will Levis being the incumbent, yet benched right away. That wasn't going to be easy for either one of them. Will Levis's shoulder surgery is probably a blessing in disguise for all, because I would just guess that ultimately Will Levis would just as soon not be there and be the backup now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and your quarterback room, as much as you cheerfully, forcefully, we're all friends, this is great. It's not. I mean, it's just normal. That's just human nature. So now things take on a different aspect for Cam Ward and crew, and I think that's probably a positive. No, it's not positive that Will Levis having shoulder surgery. I'm just saying atmosphere. That's all. I think that's probably better, and Will gets a chance to rehab, draw a breath, and maybe find a great place for him to go for another opportunity.
When you also look at this opportunity, man, this is the second time around for Coach Brian Callahan. How do you view him with the franchise quarterback, number 1 overall pick? They did a lot of stuff this offseason, man, to bring this team together. What's been your, summary of what this year has been for him this second time around?
Yeah, I've been a big Brian Callahan fan for a long time. Offense coordinator of the Bengals, dealt with him a lot there, watched him work with Joe Burrow, obviously coming in the first year at Tennessee. I don't care if you're raised in it. I don't care if you're immersed in it 24/7. Moving over from OC to head coach, I don't care who it is. It's a jump. It's a change. Things are different, and you learn. And I think he's one that does the self-reflection, as he likes to say, who will look at things and say, I got to make some change. He'll take the honest feedback. The person who's kind of the poster child for it right now, to me in the league, is Dan Quinn in Washington, who spent that time away. He worked with a former colleague of mine, Laura Oakman, to get that honest 24, what they call that 360 feedback from people about what he needed to work on and what was working, what wasn't working, and kind of, I hate to use the word reinvented himself, but added it to who he is and used his strengths and tried to shore up his weaknesses. And that worked pretty well in Washington. I feel like Brian Callahan tried to do that in the offseason and tried to make this team a better, more cohesive team, make himself a better overall head coach. Guys, we all know the proof's in the pudding, right? Yep. The proof's in what do we see when the season begins. But I have to admit it, I'm rooting hard for him. I really am. I like him. I like where he goes. I like how he goes about his business. I like his demeanor. I think he'll be great for Cam Ward if they're able to stay together. And the biggest thing is not necessarily wins and losses, but much more, how do they look when they play each week? That's what I think is the big deal for him, because he's under new management, guys. Chad Brinker was here, but it's a different title now. Mike Barganzi's a brand new GM for him. He didn't hire him. This is new management, and how will Brian Callahan and his staff present to their new bosses?
Titans preseason TV analyst Charles Davis, our guest. Charles, when you look at the rookie wide receivers that the Titans have brought in, Elikiah Manor and Chimere Dike, how big of an impact do you see them having for Cam Ward in this rookie season?
It's one of those ones where you grow together. And real quick before I go on, here's the beauty for Brian Callahan, I think. I think he's got two people in Brinker and Barganzi who are not looking necessarily to make their own move, which is very unusual when you're brand new GM, brand new president of football ops. I think they want to work with Brian Callahan and make all that work. So that's a good thing for him. Now, let's go on to the receivers. You get to grow together as a group. Every day you're working. Every day you're getting some extra work before practice, after practice. You're in the same similar age range, right? You started in the league together. How many times have we seen those guys around the league come together and form that kind of kinship, that partnership, that relationship? So impact, I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're both going to catch 60 balls and have 800 yards. That remains to be seen. But I do think that what we're going to see out of Cam and those guys is that they will grow and trust each other probably a lot quicker just because of similar circumstances coming out.
Charles, Big Jeff is not as big as he used to be. How impressed have you been watching the new version of Jeffrey Simmons out there at training camp?
Oh, my goodness. He doesn't have to be as big as he used to be.
Right.
All right? I mean, the beauty is normally when you go from Ramon, what was he, 320?
320 is what he said he was at, yeah.
He says he's down right around 300.
Yeah, yeah.
Normally, on a normal human being, when you go from 320 to 300, that's like throwing a deck chair off the Queen Mary, right? there's just no real. But he went from 320 to 300, and then you talk about a toned up, fit. Like I was able to sit down with him last week, and I just marveled. And listen, I'm of an age, guys, where we used to. The term was, oh, you can tell a 300-pounder. That was easy. 300-pounders had a gut to them, a slouch. They were pretty unathletic. You know what I'm saying? You could always tell. That was real easy. Like, oh, he's 300. Nowadays, guys are carrying 300, 310, 320 like you're carrying 275, 280.
Yeah.
It is the most impressive thing. I remember the first time I met Joe Thomas, the Hall of Fame tackle. I watched him practice at Wisconsin, and I said to Barry Alvarez, I was like, Coach, your left tackle, like, he's unbelievable. I said, man, is he going to have to get bigger in the pros? He's playing pretty light. He goes, what do you mean he's playing pretty light? I said, was he like 270, 275? He said, he's 315.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Technology's changed.
Technology's changed, nutrition, training, and these guys, they want to be fit. Okay? In the old days, I remember a golfer told me once, I'm talking about a golfer who made money, like a PGA Tour golfer. He told me that his group believed, that this when Tiger had first hit, and now, he was getting, he was bringing fitness to the game, right? He was like, look, he can be all fit and everything, but, you see all of us with that little bit of stomach? That helps us with our swing because of the ballast and the way we rotate. I mean, he gave me a 5-minute dissertation on this. And I was like, uh-huh. And then I walked away saying, that's your excuse. That's your excuse for still wanting to drink your beer and smoke your cigarettes and not work out. And then once Tiger beat everyone's brains in, that went by the wayside, right? But that old group of guys, you go back and look at the golfers prior to, right, of that era, and you'll see it, right? They come out and there's a little paunch to them. It's kind of like singers of old used to believe smoking cigarettes helped their voices.
Yeah.
Until they all start dying.
Right. Right.
I don't mean to laugh at that, but you're right, though, Charles.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's how it was, but, that's a long answer about Jeff Simmons, but all of those people have figured out now you don't have to carry extra weight to be stronger. Like, remember the first time they asked Jeff if he felt like he'd lost any strength and he almost bristled? Remember, he's like, no.
Right.
I'm as strong as I've ever been, if not stronger. You learn how to do it better, redistribute it. And now Jeff, I mean, look, Myles Garrett, I've said it before. If I were Myles Garrett, I'd never wear a shirt. Like, ever. Ever.
He rarely does anyway.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Right? He rarely does. But I'm just saying, even in Cleveland, it'd be December, and I'd be like, we're going no shirt today.
Yeah, yeah.
If I look like Myles Garrett.
Right.
Now, is Myles Garrett at his size and his position supposed to look like that?
No.
No.
Somebody's blocked him.
does.
No.
You can see the hurt in Ramon's eyes.
Ramon, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
It is,
because
man.
you've seen the evolution, right?
Yep,
You've
yep.
seen how it is, and it happens at all positions. And I'll stop here, but we'll never see the likes of Levon Kirkland again.
No. I mean, respectfully,
300-pound inside linebacker.
Reggie White, he was built for that era, is what we're getting.
He was.
Yeah.
Reg, you remember Reg was whatever term we want to use. Country strong.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Reg could work out in the weight room and all that, but Reg wasn't cut up, right? He wasn't standing in front of the mirror and flexing. All I know is everybody ended up on their backside and quarterbacks got hit.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. He ain't have to flex in the mirror. He just flexed over offensive linemen.
Over linemen and over quarterbacks, exactly.
When he was helping him up and saying, God bless you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The quarterback was like, I appreciate that, Reg, a whole lot. Can you bless my lineman?
I love it.
I love it.
Charles Davis has been our guest this morning on News 2. Of course, CBS, we love following Charles. Does great work. And looking forward to hearing you call Titans game again this weekend, Charles. I really appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it, too. I'm fortunate to have that opportunity. Can't wait to see you guys again in person. Take care.
Love it.
Thanks, Charles.
Yes, sir. Charles Davis with us here this morning talking some Titans. The best.
Beautiful. Godly. Hey, I'll listen to him talk all day.
Titans have made a roster move.
What? On the road?
We got that for you next.
It is 8:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tennessee Titans head coach Brian Callahan met with the media yesterday and talked about where Cam Ward and the Titans offense stands to this point during training camp.
The growth that I think Cam's shown in the last couple of days from that particular process, I think has been really, really encouraging. There's a particular way you have to play quarterback in the NFL, and I think he's figuring out how to balance that with how he's played in the past, and we're trying to mesh those styles together for him, and he's done a great job with it. So there's still growth to be had. We're not where we need to be, certainly, but that's the fun part of training camp, and I think as we stack some practices against some different defenses, I think it'll be fun to see where we're at.
Cam Ward and the Titans offense will get their first test against another NFL team as they're in Tampa Bay this morning for joint practice with the Buccaneers that will begin in just about an hour as they prepare for the first preseason game this Saturday night against the Bucs with kickoff set for 6:30 p.m. Central Time. In Titans news this morning, the Titans have signed defensive end Joe Gaziano, who has played in 26 games, making one NFL start and totaling 27 tackles, 4 quarterback hits, and 1 sack in 5 NFL seasons between the Chargers, Falcons, and Jaguars. The move comes as they have placed offensive lineman Chandler Brewer on injured reserve. Tonight, a 3-game slate of NFL preseason games as the Indianapolis Colts are in Baltimore taking on the Baltimore Ravens at 6 p.m. on NFL Network. Cincinnati Bengals are in Philadelphia to take on the Eagles at 6:30, and the Las Vegas Raiders are in Seattle to take on the Seahawks at 9 p.m. on NFL Network. For all your foundation repair and waterproof needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone. Second half of the show is here already. A loaded first half. We're going to do our best to play our best ball in the second half, though, this morning. We are fueled, as always, by Scooters Coffee. Locally owned near you in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. A Titans roster move. You just heard courtesy of our producer, Justin Hawkins. Joe Gaziano, a defensive end, brought in as the newest camp body. The roster continues to churn, and Chandler Brewer goes on IR for the Tennessee Titans as camp continues today. And Brian Callahan meets with the media in just a little over a half hour from Tampa.
All right, then.
Joe Gaziano, Ramon Foster.
I was today years old when I figured out who Joe Gaziano was, man. Oh, Lord, Northwestern guy. I'm looking him up right now. He's been around since 2020.
2020 undrafted.
Shout out. Okay.
One career sack in 26 NFL games. He played 3 games for the Jags last year.
I told you on break, like, when I heard J-Hawk give the update and gave his name, I said, who? And I'm so unrealistic about what the NFL is at times, because I will say this, like, my pathway was just a little bit different. Like, I was in training camp, so many guys that come in, and it's opportunity is all you're looking for in these moments right here. So shout out to Gaziano for being readily available, man. Last stop, what was it, Will? You said a second ago.
Jacksonville.
Was that Jacksonville? Mm-hmm. Perfect. He's right at home, basically.
There you go.
Okay, so camp body.
A commenter on YouTube says, Joe Gatto from the Impractical Jokers?
I was just about to say the same thing.
Larry! Yeah. Where's Larry?
Yeah.
Larry!
Did they keep Brewer here in Nashville, or he's just hanging with the team right now?
That's a great question.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can imagine.
Do you rehab at home or on the road?
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't bring me just to fire me, y'all, is what I'm asking you.
Oh, he's just hurt.
He's hurt, IR, I guess, for a little bit. So, I mean, listen. All right, listen.
Here's that way.
That's on me right there, Gaziano, man. I'm going to learn you before the end of training camp.
I'm going to learn you.
That's the mentality. I told you, saying, I hope I don't sound too conceited with that type of stuff, but, like, make a name for yourself. Stick. For sure. Stick is what I would tell him.
A Scoop on YouTube says, who? Why not just sign Preston Smith? I don't think Joe Gaziano is going to keep you from signing Preston Smith if you want to. No, I'm not being disrespectful.
All the Gazianos about to call.
Why are you booing me? I'm right. It's not personal.
No,
I'm just saying a move like this that is a roster, a camp body. is not going to prevent you from signing Preston Smith if you still want to sign Preston
He looked like one of the henchmen from The Sopranos. Is what I'm telling you right now.
That's more disrespectful.
No.
That is anti-Italian discrimination, Ramon Foster.
Which is there.
Anti-Italian discrimination. Lucas Panzica is going to come storming in a minute and have fisticuffs with you.
He's from Scituate, Maryland, man. This is where he's from right now, Massachusetts. I mean, this.
What do you want to know about Joe Gaziano? 615-737-1045. Ramon, what's his blood type while you're at it?
I mean, I hope it's O positive at this point. Get that man to a blood drive, man.
Listen, I'm going to be on the sideline now, and Joe Gaziano is going to have a sack on Teddy Bridgewater on Saturday, and I'm going to be interviewing him. Watch.
Listen, and by the way, I didn't know the state of Massachusetts had this many NFL players, too. Isaiah Likely is also from Massachusetts, Cambridge, Massachusetts, okay? Will Levis is from Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Did not realize that.
If there's one thing Ramon Foster loves, it's a rabbit hole.
He's in it now.
I'm there.
We should do a weekly segment of Ramon's Rabbit Hole of the Week.
We should.
Of some random topic that Ramon just randomly started learning about. Because Ramon likes learning.
You're the type of guy that goes in YouTube and just will watch videos.
Yeah, that's
videos.
Right. And animal clips on Instagram. Like, oh, look at what this antelope just did to this falcon.
Listen.
That's crazy. That's the kind of stuff Ramon sends me on the regular.
Only way to prevent me from going down there is to make me know who you are, is what I would tell Gaziano right now.
Joe Gaziano YouTube highlight reel.
I will.
On the down.
Hey, I will, because
with the Meek Mill music. I'm a boss.
Yeah.
I'll be riding through my own. It's just Joe Gaziano's special teams clip.
I'd like your official report tomorrow.
Skiddy, I don't even know where he's from in here, man. Listen. Scituate, Massachusetts is what I'm learning. Listen, until a team uproots, there go my guy right there. There's no way he's listening to us right now. Oh, no.
What are you talking about?
I got a random text from my guy, Sammy Spina. He's also Mason Taylor's agent.
Okay.
You remember we met him at the Senior Bowl? Yeah, Sammy. He was like, am I in Tampa right now? No, I'm not. My bad, Sammy. I thought he was talking about Gaziano because of the last
all over
name.
The place
I did. That's what I get for looking at my phone. That's what I get right there.
We're locked in.
You got to say what's up with my guy Sammy then when you get down there.
Hello, Sammy.
Yeah, hello, Sammy.
Oh, when I get down. I'm
Sammy
not down
Spina is his name. Yeah,
Okay.
It's Mason Taylor's agent.
Nice.
Yeah, we're back.
Ramon's Rabbit Hole of the Morning. I'm Dan Gaziano.
I'm the worst right now, man.
No, I
That's
love
the camp name, man. That's all. I'm not the only one thinking these things, Will, is what I'm telling you. I cannot be the only one thinking these things when these names pop up that we have no idea of who they are.
What strengths do the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have that will frustrate the Titans today and Saturday? What does Tampa do well that you feel like could be a challenge for Tennessee this week?
Pressure. I'm back to serious me now.
Well, you're never totally back to serious.
I'm really not, man. Never grow up, man. But honestly, pressure, and not just that, pressure of a rookie quarterback. We heard Coach Mack yesterday, man, give the truth about how defensive coordinators feel about rookie quarterbacks. They're trying to embarrass them.
You want to show them up?
Yeah, you want to show him up. Everything that you can do to him because it's a joint practice, you do. Hey, stay away from his arm and don't touch him if you get close to him. Those are the rules. Everything else is above board, Will. And then you look at the cast of characters that they have, the players that they have. We're talking about Levante David. I'm not sure if he is practicing, but I would on a day like this to not play in the game. You have him up the middle, man. You got Yaya Diaby. You have him, who's a young, good player that's got to face off against Dan Moore. Vita Vea. I mean, he's at the point right now where that name resonates throughout the NFL at this point. We talked about a little bit of Kalijah Kancey earlier and what he can mean. This is where I will say is this will be a challenge for Kevin Zeitler. You got a very young, active player and Kalijah Kancey that's going against an older guy and Zeitler. How does he hold up in those moments right there? Like, Zeitler's a bigger offensive lineman, so I want to see what his space is like as far as him eating him up in those moments. Sure. And then the other side of that, Hassan Reddick, who needs a big bounce back himself. Like, I'm very interested to see how they handle that because I've seen how teams want to pin their ears back whenever you have one of those types of quarterbacks. And I think in the early phases of what Cam Ward's career is right now, they want to be able to say, yeah, we got you.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the Tampa wide receivers against the Titans secondary. Yeah. Out of the 10 corners on the Tennessee Titans roster, 7 of them were drafted in the last 2 years. That includes your, right now, number 1 corner in Jarvis Brownlee, who at the moment is covering everyone's best guys. Well, Here's Mike Evans. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. Here's Emeka Ibuka. He's a rookie that is going to play a major role for the Bucs offense this year. I mean, no Chris Godwin is still working his way back from the gruesome injury last season, but Tez Johnson, the rookie out of Oregon, Sterling Shepard, the 10th-year vet from Oklahoma, Jalen McMillan in his second season from Washington, who was solid for them last year. I think that's the thing for me that made Baker Mayfield and Liam Cohen such a dynamic duo in Tampa was how many names they put on the map that weren't Evans and Godwin and how many targets they made into solid pass catchers. To me, that's still one of my biggest questions about this Titans team is where is the competence behind the starters in the secondary? Because we're seeing Brandon Allen and Tim Boyle have some success against the backup Titans defense. That's where the depth really hasn't been filled in the way that you would like while L'Jarius Sneed is hurt. So that to me is where I'd like to see somebody emerge beyond your top three corners at this point.
And another thing you don't want to show up to, I know everybody's super high on Cam and the day that he had yesterday and everything too, but does the Titans defense respond to a very similar mobile quarterback in what Baker Mayfield is?
Sure. That's a good point. Coming up next, the Foster Five returns. The Titans who have helped themselves the most at training camp so far. We'll do that next.
Summer is a time to look and feel your best, man. But I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Absolutely not. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. There's absolutely no one in hair restoration I trust more than Advanced Hair. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is for a limited time, so get the details and schedule your free consultation today. Their number is 629-348-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results with Advanced Hair. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. And also, check out their incredible before and afters and take advantage of their best offer ever. The number again is 629-348-HAIR, or visit the website at advancedhair.com.
Hey, it's Will Boulding. When it comes to ensuring clean air in your home, Lee Company delivers. Their award-winning team provides thorough, whole-home duct cleaning services that eliminate dust, debris, and other allergens from your HVAC system. The result? Improved air quality. You get enhanced system efficiency, and maybe most importantly, you get peace of mind. Even better, Lee Company is offering 10% off a whole home duct cleaning for a limited time. So why wait? Schedule online at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com for your duct cleaning services. 615-567-1000 is their number to call. Lee Company's been in business here in Middle Tennessee, serving Middle Tennesseans for over 80 years. And I love working with local businesses that care about our communities. Lee Company is involved in the community, and they can be involved in keeping your HVAC system, your home, running smoothly, running the way it is supposed to. They're online at leecompany.com. That's Lee Company. All you need. Ramona Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee at 104.5 The Zone. And Scooters Coffee is locally owned. They're fast. They're efficient. They're going to keep you caffeinated and well-fed. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet, where you can stop by and go see them. Locally owned. Scooters Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling. Justin Hawkins, our producer, streaming the show live at 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. That is where the F&M Bank chat is open for your comments this morning. Ramon Foster, we have another edition of the Foster 5 today on the Titans who have raised their stock the most. The Titans who have helped themselves the most so far in training camp. Yeah. I'll ask the question we always ask when we start these exercises. How challenging of an exercise was this for you?
Listen, 4 and 5 picking those, because I feel like my first 3 are super significant for the roles they'll play with this team, but like 4 and 5 was hard. And you know what I almost did? Like I always do every single time. I almost added a slash in it.
Okay.
I did, but instead of adding
cheat the system, I get it.
I tried to cheat the system. Okay. But instead of adding the slash, I just left the 2 that I wanted to put on. I'll do honorable mentions. I left the 2 that I had that I wanted to put at 5 off and move somebody else up. So it canceled somebody else out.
All right. Well, let's start at number 5 then.
Number 5 for me is Oladejo, Femi Oladejo.
All right.
I think the questions that he had as far as his ability to be active and be an energy burst and be a guy that can actually play a role for this team, I don't think we can get into the actual specifics of what he's been doing, but his importance has been justified by the plays that he's made in one-on-ones and in the team period for me. And also, like I said, I picked this group with the roles that they're going to be playing, I expect, for the team too. I think it's appropriate to have him number 5 on this list because I don't think he's as high as the other ones for the role that he's going to have to play, but I think his importance has been solidified by what he's done so far.
When you watch Femi, how polished is he as a pass rusher already? Considering he's only played 10 games at the edge rusher position in his football life.
Yeah.
How has he met or exceeded your expectations so far?
He's going to have a strong next offseason to gain more. I don't think his ability to be a pass rusher is in the moves that he's making or him coming off the edge. I think it's what we saw yesterday, I think, when we were on break or when Coach Mack was with us or around us. He will have, because of his reputation of the energy guy, he's going to be the try-hard athlete is what I'm getting at this point. The try-hard black guy is what I'm getting at this point. He's going to have to get upfield and retrace to make sacks. He's going to have to be a hustle guy early because I don't think he has a strong arsenal of moves to get to the quarterback naturally right now. It'd be huge of him, Will, to see if he can get into a Chuck Smith, rush camp. You know what I'm saying? Like Chuck does those things in Atlanta if he's not with the Ravens still, where he show guys pass rush moves and stuff like that. He need that type of guy this upcoming offseason for himself.
10 career starts at edge rusher, all at UCLA last season for 6'3", 259-pound rookie Oluwafemi Oladejo. He does not look 259, does he?
No.
That's what he's listed at.
He looked like he's 220, 230.
Yes, he does. He looks more like a long-limbed, like a little bit bulkier James Pierce.
Seriously.
But he still moves like James with a little bit of bulk and a little bit of muscle to him.
He'll surprise you.
Yeah, 6 career sacks for Femi Oladejo as a UCLA Bruin as he moved from off-ball linebacker to edge rusher midway through last season. Certainly someone I think could have a role to play.
Fair for him on this list?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think he would have made mine as well.
Yeah.
Number 4 on your list is Holmst.
I think it's pleasantly surprised by him. I'll be honest, I was too. I know he was a veteran.
Okay.
But I'm pleasantly surprised with his camp performance. I always say, and I tell anybody I play ball with or coach, I love what you do in practice. I'm okay with you doing what you're doing in practice, but it better translate over to the game. This guy, though, has done amazing in practice, and that's Cody Barton.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think Cody is a easy pick for this list.
Yes, and it's a position of need for this squad. The justification of his contract plays a huge role into like the idea of his level of importance. But Will, the other part of it is the leadership that he's shown, his ability to know this defense, and his playmaking has been really good so far. He's been disruptive. I think we know who he is now, and I think this fan base has an expectation for his ability to level up that middle of the defense for this Tennessee Titans team.
Yeah,
most definitely.
I think we, until training camp, undersold the impact of Cody Barton on this defense.
100% did.
Because I think coming into the offseason, there was a lot of box score scouting about Cody Barton's PFF grade and coverage that did not say very kind things about him. If you talk to Cody, he'll tell you he feels like being a coverage linebacker is actually one of his strengths. Now, as a converted safety himself, going from Utah to the NFL, from safety to inside linebacker, and making that move in college at Utah, there is a level of just calmness you get with Cody Barton in an inside linebacker. I think he is one of the best signings that Mike Berganzi and Chad Brinker have made this offseason. Was looking through some numbers the other day, Ramon. Cody Barton is one of 5 linebackers with 100-plus tackles and 5 interceptions in the last 3 years.
Production. And you know those analytics and the folks that are researching guys to sign and bring in for a team, that was a part of that, Will. His availability, and not just that, his efficiency too, man. That matters when you're in a team like this to trying to help rebuild and turn the corner, at least on one side of the ball. Cody, to me, has checked that box, man.
I think he's excellent. I think it is a great pick by you, and I think certainly a big-time piece of this defense. Yeah, he is one of 5 linebackers with 100-plus tackles each season and a total of 5 or more picks over that time frame. The other ones on that list, Fred Warner, Tremaine Edmonds, Roquan Smith, and Logan Wilson.
That's a good look. That's a good group.
It's good company.
That's a real good group right there.
I feel like Cody Barton has the highest floor of any player the Titans added this offseason.
I would agree with you. Of the additions,
I just feel like
yes.
at the least, he is just a solid linebacker. At most, I think he can be an impact player in this defense, the run game and the pass game.
It's fascinating you mentioned about the new additions because I have a new addition at 3 that I'm feeling really strong about too. But to your point about and 4 and 3 could have been flipped the way you described what you just said. You said as far as the guys that they brought into expectations.
Sure.
My number 3, I think it's been pleasantly surprising to anybody that's watched him do work.
What you
One,
got?
I didn't realize his size was what it is. I think we're seeing his speed. I think we see now Cam has a love affair for going to him. Van Jefferson.
Interesting. Okay.
4 and 3 could have been flipped. I agree. I think I could have put Cody at 3 and Van at 4.
Sure.
But I look at Van Jefferson's role that I've seen him play so far in training camp, and I'm saying to myself, there's more of a football player than I think the NFL has given him in his career so far.
He looks the part, doesn't he?
He will. Everything that you're looking for is there. Is it not, man? Like,
No, I agree. I think watching him practice and watching him go about his business, I mean,
yeah.
29-year-old, 6th-year pro, started his NFL career later after a long college career. Which,
and hot early, too. My
right.
bad. Yeah.
No, you're good. Like, I agree. I think he is someone that you watch practice and things look very easy for him.
He has that level of professionalism, man. But he's also just a doggone athlete. And I think we're seeing that he's beating guys over the top from time to time. The ball may not be where he wanted it to be, but like he's open.
Right.
He's caught everything that's come his way. I'm pleasantly surprised by what Van has done. And I think his role for this team, like to me, I feel like this, if he performs well, this could be a reset contract year for a guy like him. I'm not sure what his numbers are going to be.
Yeah.
Like, who's to say he's not supposed to get 10 a year if he has a good year here?
But maybe. I think it would take a lot to get to that
point. But the 30-year-old age ain't hard for him, though. I see him, man, Robert Woods.
I think that's the thing with Van. Maybe it's the lack of production last year in Pittsburgh. He had 276 yards and 2 touchdowns last year in Pittsburgh.
And that offense was bad.
It was. I think people are making Van out to be 35 when he is still 29.
Yeah.
Like, there's still something for Van Jefferson to add. Maybe not as wide receiver 2, you hope. But as a 3rd or 4th option, Van Jefferson's fine.
Easily.
He's not going to move mountains. He's not going to give you 1,000 yards, most likely. But there's nothing wrong with having Van Jefferson around as a contributor on this offense, as someone that can give you 500 yards, 400 or 500 yards.
Right.
If Van Jefferson gives you 500 yards this season, you feel great about what you've added in him, and you have someone that's teaching your younger wide receivers how to be pros. I worry that they are shoehorning him into a bit too prominent of a role. And I don't want him to get in the way of Elikai Manor and Chimere Dike when they are ready for those additional responsibilities. But if that's one thing I'm confident with about this team, it's that. It's that they're not going to let veterans get in the way when they feel like young guys are ready to step up and play more.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think for right now, I would agree. Van Jefferson has looked solid. To me, he was not someone who was seen as a lock to make this roster.
I didn't think so.
But he has played himself more into like, oh, okay, yeah, no, he's going to make the team at this point.
And for the people like myself that love Nick Westbrook-Akine, I don't think you miss him if Van goes out and does what he's supposed to do.
I don't think you miss him either.
Yeah.
Bryce Oliver continues what he's doing in camp.
Very true, too.
As the special teamer and versatile chess piece at wide receiver.
Yeah, I see Mark in our chat said, like, the wide receiver court, you feel like it's just better. Not elite, but the gumbo of wide receivers that you have, it's just the mix of them, I guess.
Gumbo.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I like it.
We're almost getting to the fall. It's almost soup season,
That's
okay? But you feel better about what the ingredients are.
That's a good question. I mean, this time last year, we thought we was still getting 600-700 yards out of Tyler Boyd.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I struggle to say it's just way better than this time last year, because this time last year, we had higher hopes for Treylon Burks as well. This time last year, we thought that Calvin Ridley was coming in as a 1,200, 1,300-yard receiver, and he had one 100-yard game last year, and it didn't happen until deep in the fall. So I hesitate to say it's better than this time last year. I think there's more potential for this wide receiver core to be better because there are more unknowns.
Mm-hmm.
There really are. I mean, Chimere Dike and Elikai Manor are unknowns with high ceilings and a lot of potential. Xavier Estrepo with the opportunity to make this team and what he could or couldn't give you. Plus, Tyler Lockett and Calvin Ridley's back healthy again. So I think at worst,
and D-Hop, yep,
it's a step below from what you thought last year was going to be. At best, I do think it can be way better than what you had last year. And the difference, Ramon, is this quarterback hopefully will throw the ball to his receivers and not the other team's DBs. Because that's what makes a wide receiving core better, is the fact that the quarterback elevates the guys around him.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll say this. The concentration of the guys they have at those positions, if one was out, you wouldn't feel bad. Like if Van was out, you wouldn't feel bad about Elikai Manor being in.
I mean, heck, we had DeAndre Hopkins on the team this time last year.
I remember. No doubt.
I mean, I forgot a minute ago because he was such a non-factor and obviously got traded. Mm-hmm. But I agree. I think this wide receiving core can and will be better.
Yeah.
But on paper, we had really high expectation. We were talking about Ridley and Hopkins being the best 1-2 punch, not named Chase and Higgins in the NFL.
Oh, did
this time last year. So
not nothing.
I won't say that they're better than they were this time last year. Number 2 on your list, please.
He needed it in the worst way this year.
Okay.
Jalen Duncan.
I agree. I think Jalen is a slam dunk on this list as well.
Jalen Duncan, man. Injuries happen. It's big bodies versus big bodies at the line of scrimmage. Somebody may go down. And having him, I feel like this year with what he's provided as far as his level of competition and competing, you know what I'm saying, has been a whole lot better than I thought it would be coming into this year. I ain't want to call this a make-or-break season for him as far as making this roster, but it was. His reputation last year I thought was low with his ability to, like, just look like an NFL player. I questioned him last year. I questioned the draft pick and everything surrounding him last year. Like, I wouldn't have wanted him on my team last year with with where he was as a player. I'm not sure if it was health. I'm not sure what it was, but seeing him this year, I don't even know if he's really lost one-on-ones or looked like a young guy going into this season. So Jalen Duncan, to me, has proven himself better this time around in training camp than I ever thought he would as a pro.
The beauty of Jalen Duncan's maturation is that he can do that as a swing tackle.
Yeah, man.
And not have to be relied on to start. This team took a lot of gambles on the offensive line the past few years of projects that they were going to start. It's okay for a third-year, day 3 draft pick project to sit in the wings and wait. Because odds are we're going to need you, Jalen.
Absolutely.
We're going to need Jalen Duncan this season. But I'm much more comfortable with the expectation level being of him earning a swing tackle spot versus what they tried to do with NPF last year. Because let's be honest, Jalen Duncan is at the same spot NPF was last year. Hey, put together a good offseason, good camp. We're gonna throw you out there, see what you got. And you got to do that some spots of the field. but not when your quarterback's health relies on those guys playing at a high level.
Yeah.
And Cam Ward's health and the future of this organization and also relies on Cam Ward's health means that you got to get that position right. Who's number one on your list, Ramon?
James Williams.
Solid.
I think the strongest competition I thought going into training camp was him and Cedric Gray. Him and, Cody Barton, to be quite honest with you, too.
It's not been much of a competition.
And it ain't been one.
No.
He's been good in the run. He's good, it looked like, in space. He's had an interception or two from time to time. And for a guy that's a 7th-round pick, converting safety to be a inside linebacker starter going into the first depth chart given, it's James Williams Sr. to me.
He would have been number 2 on my list, but yes, I agree. He is the Titan I'm most excited about. Honestly,
it's like a Christmas gift.
Because it's a safety converting to inside linebacker. There's so much you can do with that if that works.
Oh.
Because the speed and athleticism of James Williams gives you such a high potential and ceiling. And that might be a gift from your previous GM, Ray Carthon, if he ends up hitting. One for me, real quick. We got Brian Callahan coming up in a minute, so we got to get out of here. But number 1 for me would have been Tajay Spears. I think Tajay has been outstanding in camp so far. Hard to really say that with a ton of certainty when you can't tackle, obviously. I really want to see Tajay out there in preseason cook a little bit against the Tampa defense. Coming up, Brian Callahan meets with the media. You will hear it live coming up next.
Get ready to buy like a dealer buys at Genesis Diamond. Starting this Saturday, you get insider pricing on all GIA certified diamond rings. 20% off. Yes, that's an extra 20% off Genesis already ridiculously low prices, okay? And this year, all lab-grown diamond rings are also included in this. So you can choose a lab-grown or a GIA certified natural diamond and get 20% instant savings from a half a carat if you want all the way up to 20. Every shape, every style, rounds, ovals, radians, cushions, pear shape, emerald cuts, and princess cuts also, all handcrafted and set to perfection in a gorgeous Genesis setting. This is Genesis' most popular annual event. Smart buyers know the value doesn't get any better than this. But hurry, this is a limited time offer, and it starts this Saturday morning when the doors open. Genesis Diamonds makes getting the perfect engagement ring more affordable than ever. Also, don't be surprised to see other jewelers scoping out these incredible deals, too. It's the Genesis Diamonds Extravaganza, an extra 20% off stunning GIA and lab-grown diamond engagement rings starting Saturday, only at Genesis Diamonds. See store for details.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up hour number 3 this morning. Titans training camp getting started in Tampa in just a few moments. And we are in Nashville, in case you're wondering.
Should have gassed up the jet, Will. Come on, man.
You have one of those?
I was looking at you get one of those, man. What you talking about?
Okay.
Brian
Callahan going to meet with the media right now, potentially, maybe? Justin, what do we know?
He's not up yet. But
okay. Oh, so it will be streamed for sure. So we will have it.
I've got it in the queue. Just waiting
fantastic.
on him to show his face.
Look at Hawk, man. Just stand on it, dog. Look at you. I'm proud of you, J. Hawk.
Somebody text or tweet at Buck
guys.
to tell Callahan to start his press conference so we can go to Brian Callahan.
Like, seriously, come on with it, man.
Well,
Do
that's
the right
what the
thing.
music is for. Going back to Cali, but, he's letting us
You are very topical with music choices.
I see what he did there.
I hope everybody else gets that, too.
Man.
I like to be very much like I want a reason for my music.
I get that. By the way, man, shout out to our good friend Teron Davenport who posted.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh, nothing worse. He posted that he shout out to the airline that he put on his Twitter for making him basically miss the entire practice today when he was supposed to be there last night.
Now he's supposed to get there at 11:05. It's
And-
United. I'll name them.
Yeah, they
don't sponsor this show.
Yeah, see,
Come
that's
on,
why
United.
you're real one in these moments right here. That sucks.
That's part of the story.
It
I have
is.
nothing against United. It's just part of the story, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, you could try to say loss of wages preventing you to do your job, but I enjoy the TD updates after practice, and now we don't get those. TD has a good eye for it, man, and that just absolutely that sucks. To be at the same location like that. Maybe Buck will keep us updated. We'll see what happens.
Ugh.
Are they? It's been asked. Are they live streaming those practices?
No.
No.
Not practice, never live stream.
Yeah, I was just hoping for something. They could do a pay-per-view. Roger Goodell out here selling.
NFC and AFC South teams everywhere watching that.
I would.
They'd pay for it.
I'm just greedy about football like that.
Here he is, Brian Callahan in Tampa, meeting with the media.
Right now. That was great. Easy.
What? How much is this scripted? Will there be any kind of freelance periods? How's
Yeah,
the thing?
there's multiple scripted periods, some base downs, some third downs, some kind of first, second, third. We'll have a 2-minute period, which will be unscripted, and then we'll have at the end of practice, just a move the ball, call it as you play it. So we'll have a full scrimmage-ish where it's just straight call it from. We'll get spotted by the officials and call plays and all that stuff. So some mostly scripted and a little bit off script.
Is it conceivable then that in totality Cam will see kind of less freelance to defense than he's seen in practices with you?
Hard to say. I mean, I don't know what they're going to call. It's scripted in the sense that they know what personnel we're putting on the field. But other than that, we don't know what they're going to do. We watch some of their tape and what Coach Bowles does from a schematic standpoint, but still have no idea what it's going to look like. So it's good for us. It'll be exciting.
Were there priorities for you in terms of the ground rules, what you wanted to do or didn't want to do in this?
These are all pretty standard in the sense that you're going to get most situational work. You get some base down, some third down, some red zone, a 2-minute drill. They had a template that they'd used previously, and then we kind of went back and forth on some period emphasis. But it was pretty easy. They've been really easy to work with, and everything's been pretty straightforward.
Are there guys on the other sideline that you're most familiar with that you know over the years, coaching your players?
I know Coach Carberry pretty well. Known him for a while. I've known Todd for quite a bit too, just over the years. But some guys I know familiar with a little bit, but not a ton. And some players I know here and there, but not a deep roster of guys I've been around. Yeah.
Brian, it sounded like Cam had a rough practice a couple days ago. Maybe
Sure.
threw a little bit more at him. Was that sort of in preparation for today? And how do you think he rebounded from that next practice?
Rebounded well the next practice. A lot of what we've done in training camp early is to make it hard on him purposefully in general, not necessarily facing the Bucs or not mutually exclusive. But the good thing about Denard is that Denard worked for Todd, so there's a lot of similarities. So we see a lot of pressure, a lot of really hard looks, and I know we'll get some today too, which will be good. I'm excited about it.
What's your punt return thinking for the game?
A couple guys are going to get some work. I think all of them. We'll try to get all the guys that we think are going to have a chance to be our returner a shot to return in the preseason. It may not all be in the same game, but over the course of 3 games and the joint practices, we should get some hopefully some more clarity on what that looks like and some real actual work, live work. It's hard to simulate it for the punt returners. So I think all those guys in the mix are going to get some opportunities.
That may be the area where you get like the most information because you've got the least out of practice there.
Yes, special teams in general, and for the preseason games for sure, is where you get most of your real tells on if these guys can do it in live action. The practice is hard to simulate. A lot of times you're shortening fields and you're making drills condensed because of the running. But yeah, the preseason games are huge opportunities for guys to make an impression on special teams. He will be out here. He's going to work an individual. We're sort of ramping him back into it. I don't think he's going to do much teamwork in this particular practice, with the goal that maybe as we get to Atlanta, he'll have a chance to get a little bit more action in. But trying to make sure we're smart with him, given his age and his injury history, that we're just ramping him back into practice.
Any vets who aren't going to have to play Saturday, or are you going to expect everybody to play?
As of right now, we haven't finalized that. There might be 1 or 2 vets that don't play, but for the most part, we're gonna play.
You mentioned another one of these next week in Atlanta. 2 different styles here. I guess what you're seeing now and what you're seeing next week, and how will that help you?
The more styles you can see, the better. There's some carryover to some teams we're going to face. The Bucs, obviously, with Todd's defense and the pressure and the exotic looks and all those things are something that we're going to need. We're going to see that from some coordinators early in the season. And then with Raheem and Coach Olbrich down there in Atlanta, they got the style of defense we're going to see from the Rams and a couple other teams, Houston, some crossovers there. So really good to get some looks at some different schemes that we're going to see probably in the first month of the season. Talented team. There's some, especially on the trenches, the offensive and defensive line got some good players. It's a good test for us. The schemes are really, really solid. Obviously, the defensive scheme is aggressive. It's exotic in nature. And I know they've talked about some things that hopefully we see a little bit of in terms of some press coverage and man coverage and things they're trying to maybe do a little bit more of. And then I think the offensive scheme and offensive talent is as good as anybody's in football. So we got a good test today. It's a good football team. I mean, you don't win 10 games on accident in this league, and they've managed to be really competitive for a lot of years now. So they do a really good job.
A couple more.
How do you handle practice as far as what you keep your eyes on, offense, defense?
I'll be moving around between both fields today. I'll let Nick take the offensive stuff for a majority of it. I'll probably end up jumping over and calling one of the 2-minute periods, but I'll let Nick do that so I can watch both sides and be present with the special teams and all that stuff. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot going on, a lot of action, 2 fields rolling. It'll be fun.
Are there any broad coaching points, in lack of a better term, that you've given Cam in advance of today?
No, this is for us without really a game plan. It's not a game week. It's sort of apply your rules. What you've learned and how you've gone about it from this off-season process through the first part of the preseason, and you just sort of react to what you see and play within the rules of the system. And there's only so many things you can do in football, but it's good for him to be able to go out and just try to execute what we're asking him to execute and worry about what we're doing, not necessarily about what they're doing. Good competition, but his focus should be on executing the offense the way that we want him to.
Legarius and Cush here?
They're here, yeah, for sure. They'll probably work a little bit on the side. And again, I think those guys will be more in the conversation next week, see where they're at, and maybe, hopefully, maybe start some of that process back. But we'll see. But they'll both be here.
Anybody out today?
Out today. Most of the same guys as yesterday. Nothing dramatic in that sense. Hance will be out. He'll work on the side. Carlos Watkins will be out. Sweat will be out, and Winston will be out. And then, just like I said, Diggs will be in a return to play. He'll be out there, individual things like that, but you won't see him in the actual team period.
Management with Winston?
Yeah, just being smart. I mean, he's coming off that ACL, and especially after 5 days out of 6 on working, some soreness, and you just got to be really mindful of those things. You don't want to end up doing any more than necessary. And again, he's still coming off a pretty significant injury, so we got to be smart and manage it.
Does he maybe have a hamstring?
Last 2 right here.
Or it's not the knee, it's a hamstring?
It's anything on the lower leg, muscle related, is always something you're very careful of with those ACLs, just because of the strength of the muscles around it. So there's certainly things that we're monitoring and keeping track of, but nothing new to report as far as actual injury.
Nice one,
You
Jim.
had Jelly roll out yesterday.
Yeah.
From the past year to go from an old lineman to a tight end. I mean, just can you talk about his transformation? Maybe what
I do love Jelly. He's an awesome ambassador for our organization and our team. He loves these players. He loves the football team. To see his journey going from whatever he was down 200 pounds is pretty remarkable. I think he's one of the. I've never seen anybody lose that much weight that quickly. He's on top of it. So happy for him. He looks great. He's got a ton of energy, and he gave a heck of a speech the other day for us. I think most people saw it, and love having him around. He's an awesome human being.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
There is Tennessee Titans head coach Brian Callahan meeting with the media. I've got a major takeaway from something he said this morning. We react to all of that with you coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. Good people, it's simple. It is medicalhousecalls.com. That is the website, man. You can call or text, because we like to text in today's society, man. This phone number is 615-838-2375. And here's what they provide to you. A primary health care, okay, urgent care, IV therapy, or medical weight loss also, man. And the process is super simple. As I just told you, you can call or text them, and their teams will assess what you need within minutes. You can book your visit, and after a quick chat, they will schedule it for you at wherever location that you need them at, preferably at your home, away from the emergency room. The medical providers will be at your door and get you assessed ASAP too. And here's the thing about Medical House Call, man. It brings back the concierge medicine. It's no waiting on germ-filled urgent care rooms, appointments that don't fit your schedule. Again, somebody may be a few weeks out and you need something right now. Uprooting your kids, your life, your schedule to go see a doctor. Best thing about them, too, man, is the transparent pricing that is upfront and not confusing. You can also use your HSA and FSA cards just like any other doctor's appointment. It is a concierge to help you, whether you're fighting the flu at home or you need performance-enhancing cocktails. Their nurses come to your door, administer the IVs you need to get yourself feeling better fast, man. If you also feeling fatigue, I told you about the IV therapy, man, or you got a persistent illness or injury, difficulty focusing or being productive, there is an IV therapy for you. Or if you've just been out on the town, man, and need a rapid rehydration, energy boost, they can handle whatever you need right at your home, okay, at a time that you set. 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. through 8 p.m. Set a day and appointment anytime, guaranteed, all right? MedicalHouseCalls.com or call or text the number 615-838-2375.
It is 9:01. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. I'm Justin Hawkins. The Tennessee Titans are in Tampa Bay this morning for joint practice with the Buccaneers as they prepare for the first preseason action Saturday night against the Bucs. Practice getting started as we speak. Head coach Brian Callahan just spoke to the media, and if you missed it, Callahan dropped some potentially good news on cornerback Zarzour Sneed and center Lloyd Cushenberry.
They're here, yeah, for sure. They'll probably work a little bit on the side, and again, I think those guys will be more in the conversation next week, see where they're at, and maybe, hopefully, maybe start some of that process back. But we'll see. But they'll both be here.
Another Titans news this morning, the Titans have signed defensive end Joe Gaziano, who has played 26 NFL games, making one start and totaling 27 tackles, 4 quarterback hits, and 1 sack in 5 NFL seasons split between the Chargers, Falcons, and Jaguars. The move comes as they have placed offensive lineman Chandler Brewer on injured reserve. And a 3-game slate of NFL preseason games tonight in Baltimore. It's the Colts versus the Ravens at 6 p.m. on NFL Network, the Bengals versus the Eagles in Philadelphia at 6:30, and the Raiders take on the Seahawks in Seattle at 9 p.m. on NFL Network. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone. Away we go into the fourth and final hour of your Thursday morning. Friday Junior, how we know it around here. Hope you're having a good start to your day. Hope we can make it a little bit better for you. On a beautiful morning in Nashville, Tennessee, he is the 11-year NFL veteran and Vol Network analyst, Ramon Foster. Justin Hawkins makes the show happen. I'm Will Bowling, 615-737-1045, the number. We are Boo Carter days away from football time in Tennessee, meaning that we will do some fall camp storylines coming up here in just about 15 minutes. Go around some SEC camps, see what's going on, including in Knoxville, where a scrimmage is coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, man. If I wasn't out of town, I would try to get to that one, man. I like those because it really you set your foundation for what you want to do in training camp, and this is like one of your real big tests. Like, it's violent in college scrimmages.
It's real football.
Yeah. No, they get to it.
It's as close to preseason football as you get.
Yeah.
In college.
And they got to approach it like that, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, other than, again, touching the quarterback, everything's above board. Tackling to the ground, which is a big thing. Not a lot of teams do that type of stuff, but that is the moments where it's not just thud, it's bringing them to the ground.
Will they do that Saturday?
Yeah, I would think
They'll
so.
Tackle?
Yeah, 100%. Cool. I personally think they will.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's still what you said, 23 days away from camp. So, yeah, you got to be able to see what your guys look like. There's no preseason. Do you think it's a side topic real quick, but do you think there should be a closed scrimmages if you could? I don't know how you could, though.
Coaches are so paranoid.
They are paranoid as heck in college.
That they're not going to do it. I mean, I still contend that spring games should be against FCS teams.
Okay.
But that's probably not going to happen either. But, like, I would love if Tennessee and TSU could play in April instead of the orange and white game.
Man.
But that's a separate conversation. There is one note on Joey Aguilar we got yesterday from VolQuest that I want to bring up in 15 minutes as a potential very good sign for Tennessee football. So we'll do that coming up. We'll go around some fall camp storylines of the SEC, talk some college football with you here in 15 minutes. Titans hitting the practice field as we speak down in Tampa. Obviously, we cannot give you play-by-play of what's happening because we are in Nashville. And we are not looking at football players. We're looking at each other. But
I'm so upset.
There is, I know. I'll try to take the disgust out of my voice. There is one headline from Brian Callahan speaking with the media a few minutes ago I thought was significant. The update on the 2 veterans, Lloyd Cushenberry and Zarzour Sneed, on the PUP list.
They're here, yeah, for sure. They'll probably work a little bit on the side. And again, I think those guys will be more in the conversation next week, see where they're at, and maybe, hopefully, maybe start some of that process back. But we'll see. But they'll both be here.
Wow.
I'm curious if one of them is ahead or if it really is both of them. That's the follow-up I would have liked to ask had I been there. Is one guy ahead of the other, or do you see them both on the similar timeline that next week is the earliest you could get them back. Ramon, this defense needs L'Jarius Sneed back.
In a worse way.
I mean, there's a lot of undrafted fresh blood in that cornerback room with respect to guys that are trying to earn a job in this league. This defense needs Sneed.
Yeah, they do. And again, he needs to be out there too. I'm sure he does. He's chomping at the bit to get back to football, man. Like, getting paid is cool, but like the pressure of understanding, like, I got to go show I'm worth all of this, it matters. I hope so to guys like him, man. So I expect if there's one person ahead of him, well, just because of the weight difference, that is probably L'Jarius in this situation. And that working back, hopefully for us that are able to be at practice or get the reports about practice, is they're doing individuals. You know what I'm saying? Being able to get in with the guys and break out of reads and stuff like that, man. Lloyd's situation, it's I think his is more touchy and then more sensitive than I think what L'Jarius is too. I know L'Jarius has a history of it, but Lloyd and the Achilles, I'm somewhat of the mindset of he missed the first month, which sucks. As far as Cushenberry is concerned, I'd take that just to make sure that he was all the way right. But to get him acclimated to pushing on bodies and coming out of his stance and stuff like that, I'd like to see it. I absolutely would love to see that from Lord Cushenberry.
Yeah, I think the thing with Sneed is, like, he's going to have some time to really ramp himself back up to being a full-time corner. Like, you don't just go from a quad injury that sidelines you halfway through the season to immediately covering, missing a crucial step here, the knee cleanup procedure he had in the spring, to immediately covering number one wide receivers. No. Like, there's going to have to be a little bit of a acclimation period for him to get back. You don't just jump back in with 2 feet.
And for him with the knee cleanup side of things too, you have to be concerned that the reaction to the load of work that he's about to do again.
Yeah.
That's the scariest thing about his situation is I thought it was fine going into this offseason, and here he had a cleanup. Right. Well, it's because how the knee reacted or the quad reacted again. That's problematic for him now.
It is. No doubt. So, interesting. I do feel like Corey Levin has filled in admirably. He's fine. You know what you're getting from Corey Levin as someone that's been around, that also knows the left guard very well.
Yeah.
Obviously, Kevin Zeitler is someone who is new to this entire operation, but we talked about this a little bit the other day. I wanted to bring it back up. Like, where will Lloyd Cushenberry help Cam the most in terms of setting up the offense, making checks at the line? Like, how much of a benefit will Lloyd Cushenberry be for Cam Ward when he does get back healthy?
Just a settling figure. He's a bigger body than what Corey Levin is, too. And there is, I think, a step above the talent level with where Corey Levin is also. You get a bigger body, as I said, to be able to hold up the middle of the defense, because I feel like they're going to try to flush Cam as much as possible up the middle, the cerebral side of it. But Lloyd's got a long way to go in that same sense, though, Will, because the speed, the catch-up, the reaction time and everything that's entailed into it, the smartness of what it is. And I won't minimize Corey Levin at all by that. I think Corey's going to be good as far as picking out backers, who's our spot and stuff like that. But you don't become a $50 million guy, Will, by just being a lump on the log is where I'm getting at for him.
From people I've spoken to, I think in this offense specifically, Ramon, there is value in the center making a lot of pre-snap checks and reads. That's not the case in every system. I think especially with a rookie quarterback, there's an idea that Brian Callahan may want to take some of the pre-snap diagnosing and take it not just on Cam Ward, but put a little bit of that on Lloyd Cushenberry's plate as well, to where Lloyd, as someone who's been in the league, can help identify blitzers, can help identify, all right, hey, if they're going to put 2 linebackers over me, who's got who? Yeah. Right? And that is what you see defensive coordinators do. I think it's what Tampa will throw at Cam today. Those double mug blitzes, right?
Yep.
Where you put, if anybody's played the college football or Madden video game, you know it works very well. Mid blitz that you put 2 linebackers over the center, you put everybody on the line, and you got to figure out who's blitzing and who's dropping. Yeah. That's what Cam's really struggled with so far. That becomes easier for him when Lloyd Cushenberry is there to help communicate with the line of, like, you got this guy. If he blitzes, I'm taking him. If he drops, then I'm going to go here, and the way all of those things work. How much time will it take for Cushenberry and Kevin Zeitler to get on the same page and know what it's like to work together?
About the same time, about 2 to 3 weeks, man. I would think in real time. We're talking about training camp to games, so we're talking about week 1 to week 3. You'll see their communication having to be very high. That's something that J.C. Latham spoke about yesterday with Buck Rise on. He was on their show. Is the way he and Zeitler now are communicating, how they have to, over communicate in times to be on the same page, same levels. It's that because, to your point, they're used to Corey right now. The snap count is a part of it too. How does he snap? Does he, on set, is he already pulling the ball back? That's a lot of that goes into it. It's been a year, or getting close to a year for a guy like Lloyd Cushenberry. He's got to get settled in. It's got to be quick with him.
Yeah.
But the good thing is he's got guys now, even as young as they are, with experience. I know Zeitler's old and Peter's going into year 3 for himself, but that experience that they gained last year is huge for Lloyd coming back too. I'm excited to see what that unit can look like at some point during the season.
Mike on YouTube writes in and says he's pushing to play back in Denver again. You think that's part of it?
I would think so.
Extra motivation to play against your former employer?
That's a high challenge, though, man.
It is. I don't think that can be a factor. The Titans can't let that be a part of him getting back. Like, you can't push it and put yourself in jeopardy and put your long-term injury at risk just because you want to play against your old team.
No, absolutely not. And then I know some people don't think it's a big thing, but that altitude is real.
It's very real.
How conditioned are you to handle it? We were talking to somebody recently that lived in that area in Colorado. It was just, it was a guy from Surf Pro, just like going back and having to be in those elements. Like, a lot of stuff changes. The way your body takes in that oxygen and how you recover in those moments. You just don't want to put an unnecessary strain on the body if you don't have to in those moments, if I'm Lloyd Cushenberry. And that defense in their interior is going to be nice too.
It's fair.
It's important to note that the Achilles injury is supposed to, or typically takes, about a year to recover from it. So whatever you're getting from Lloyd Cushenberry now, if he does return back to practice next week, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't expect him to play week 1, but if you do, it's going to have to be like a slow return to play kind of thing, because you can't expect him to go full force with 300 pounds plus going against defensive linemen who are all they're doing is pushing on that Achilles.
Right.
To be quite honest, I don't expect him for a month into the season.
It's fair.
I'd be okay with that.
Because when was the injury? Back in November, early November?
I think it was November.
Yeah. So a month puts you October. You're still 11 months into the recovery process.
If he is who we think
still
he
a bonus.
could be, save him. Make sure he's all the way right.
November 3rd, 9 games into the season against the New England Patriots.
And if you're happy with what Corey Levin has done to this point, you have to just ride.
You got to roll.
Sure.
I agree.
Coming up, we will update you on anything we hear from practice. Again, we are not there. Practice just getting started in Tampa. We've got video of Cam Ward in a Titan blue practice jersey today instead of a red jersey, since obviously you're practicing against red jerseys in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we will update you if anything significant happens. The biggest thing for me, Ramon, biggest takeaway is that big old flag they have in Tampa every time the Titans always practice there. Why did the Bucs just have the biggest flag in the world?
I only answer for you, Will. It's Florida.
Well, yeah, Florida and Texas.
It's Florida and Texas.
Like, have you seen this thing?
No, I hadn't paid
attention. Look at Bucs last. I'll retweet it right now.
All right, for sure.
From @Ramon and Will, where you can follow the show on Twitter. You should be following us there already. Anyway, look at how big this flag is. I don't know why. Those threads, that yarn could have been used for so many other things.
Shameful.
Have you see it now?
No, not yet.
Yeah, that's huge.
How long does it take you to get on Twitter?
Listen, man, be cool. Be cool, man. I'm already on Twitter. You just reposted it. All right, here we go. Go
@Ramon and Will.
Go into it in real time. Oh, Lord.
That's what I'm saying.
Like a 20-yard flag.
I know. See, bigger than that.
They have an ownership man that just got money to burn. That's a tax write-off.
The Glazers.
That's a business expense. Lord.
Yeah, instead of buying players for Manchester United.
I need to see it in full mass with the wind.
Yeah, Buck, do a better job of photography, man. Yeah, there you go, Jay-Hawk. Yeah, well, let's criticize him while we can. Do a better job, Buck.
Garrett on YouTube says, Murica, baby, cry about it. Well, I'm not crying about it. I just said it's a big flag. What do you want?
And you wrong.
Easy.
And you wrong, Garrett, because it's a
Chill
Buccaneers flag. So go Bucks is what you just said. It's go Bucks now. Now, how you feel about that, Garrett? It's a Bucks flag. What'd you say to that?
SEC fall camp observations. We've got a little bit on a bunch of teams, including one thing I read about Vols practice yesterday that makes me feel good about Tennessee's quarterback situation. And we'll do that next.
Let's face it, buying a vehicle should be straightforward and stress-free, and that's exactly how Two Rivers Ford has been doing business for decades. This locally owned dealership has a non-commissioned sales team whose only focus is to find you the right vehicle at the right price without the pressure. So you'll actually have a fun car buying experience. Great prices, easy financing, and a non-commissioned sales team. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Having a good time on your Thursday morning, Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. You need a little pick-me-up, or if you just want to celebrate the fact that it's Thursday, Scooter's Coffee's got you covered. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. The cinnamon rolls are warm and fantastic. The waffle breakfast sandwiches will fill you up. They'll be fresh, ready for you. And the coffee, absolutely terrific at Scooter's Coffee. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. In 23 days, Tennessee football will begin its season. And Ramon Foster and myself, when I have a couple opportunities to go to Knoxville, we'll have the chance to start getting Scooter's Coffee in Mount Juliet on the way to Knoxville.
Yes, we can.
On I-40, right off the interstate.
Let's stop.
About a half mile off. You just pop over, grab a cup, pop back on. You can eat the cinnamon roll while you drive. I've done it before. Live to tell the tale.
Man knows ball over here.
That's right.
Telling us, man. Do the right thing.
Absolutely right.
Do the right thing, good people.
So, Tennessee football camp underway. We'll get you some fall SEC headlines here as Titans practice takes place in Tampa. We can't watch it, so we're pivoting for a couple minutes here, Ramon. Talking about one thing that I read at VolQuest that I liked about Joey Aguilar. This from Eric Kane, and again, not just Eric, the collection of VolQuest writers who are covering Tennessee fall camp says, where Joey Aguilar excelled at Wednesday's practice was throwing it deep. This was the first time we have actually seen the quarterbacks air it out some. The talk about Aguilar coming in was he throws the ball well down the field 20-plus yards. He looked good doing it today, VolQuest writers say yesterday. Of the 4 deep balls we saw him throw, 3 were completed. Nice. Now, these are routes on air. These are not reps against a live defense. This isn't even 7-on-7. College reporters don't get to watch much when they go out to practice. However, Ramon Foster, I am buying Joey Aguilar stock if he can just be good at throwing deep passes and hit open receivers when they are open.
Oh, I agree with you there, too. And that's the part about that, too, that's exciting to you, is sometimes you have that touch and sometimes you just don't. If he's a guy that know how to air it out in open space like that points to the signs that coaches are going to trust him to do that when it's 11-on-11 in those moments. It also, too, if he is in a position to throw the deep ball, that just means the protections up front has to be a whole lot better, not just from the bigs, but for the running backs in those situations, too. This offense, I'm hoping for Heupel and the Vols is more exciting than it was last year, have more explosive plays, are in a position, Will, to either get the DPI or the completion down the field. I felt like some of the, not to knock the guy because he's not there, but I felt like some of the passes that Nico would have last year were way over or way underneath at time. That wasn't, to your point about Joey Aguilar, the touch that you were looking for. And here Joey naturally has that Aguilar that is, it's enticing. I would bet you for Josh Heupel and Joey Halzle as it pertains to this offense.
VolQuest writers also add that Jake Merklinger had a strong day yesterday as well, saying we only saw him throw 1 deep ball, and it was a great catch down the middle to Miles Kitzelman, who continues to practice in a red non-contact jersey. Merklinger, according to VolQuest, was quick and accurate for the most part on the intermediate throws. His consistency has been something of note in fall camp to this point, they say. He's done a really nice job. Obviously, a huge week coming up for all 3 quarterbacks. Injuries still a topic of concern as well for Tennessee, a wide receiver. Mike Matthews did practice for a second straight day yesterday, but was in a red jersey. Chris Brazzell was not practicing again, but is working through the acclimation period, according to VolQuest. He is expected back sometime this week. And Braylon Staley, who is set for a huge season as a Tennessee slot receiver, not practicing on Wednesday for the second straight day. He was in jersey, shorts, and no helmet off to the side. What's your gut feeling on the quarterback battle at this point? Have you changed your mind? Do you have any reason to believe it's not going to be Joey Aguilar when Tennessee opens the season against the Syracuse Orange in 23 days?
This falls in that category, Will, of who won it versus who you want. And it's a hard decision to make. I think if it's Joey Aguilar, I view this situation as I think the coaches would prefer that to be the case. He's got the experience. He's a new transfer. You traded a 1-to-1 with him and Nico. And just you got him for the 1 year, too. And it also helps settle the conversation about next year. I think coaches are I think they're scared of decisions like that. as far as like if it is Merklinger, right? When you look at the Jake Merklinger incorporation into this competition, his teammates I feel like him a lot. I think he has the playmaker ability that you want in a quarterback from what I saw in the spring game and what I also saw in one of those close practices, that he can wet his whistle in a way that makes his decision very tough for the coaches. I'm Team Merklinger on this one, to be quite honest.
Really?
Yeah, but I view Joey Aguilar as probably the guy that's going to go get it. I do. This is a hard decision for coaches that's got to be in a position, a hard decision for this team when you're thinking about the right now, because they're not necessarily in a rebuild. Joey Aguilar, I feel like, satisfies the coaching staff more than Jake Merklinger at this point.
Merklinger was ranked the number 12 quarterback in the country coming out of high school in 2024 from Calvary Day School in Savannah, Georgia. Certainly not a scrub by any stretch of the imagination, and someone that was borderline Elite 11 quarterback as well, but interesting. I think if Joey Aguilar is a good deep ball thrower, it's Joey Aguilar's job.
A spring showed that Merklinger can go deep too, though.
I agree.
Yeah. It's a great competition. It's what you want.
It is. Pete Nakos of On3 putting it out there yesterday. He had a bunch of nuggets from fall camps around the country and around the SEC specifically, said that true freshman George McIntyre has been with the third team and that the battle appears to be between Joey and Jake. So you dropped a lid of your water bottle.
And I don't want this water to spill over here like some people did, Don Davenport. I kid.
Text coming in 3, 2.
But it's great for this reason, though. Nobody has to pick a side in this one. It simply comes down to
except Josh Heupel.
Yeah, I know, except for Josh Heupel. The way Nico left, I'm hoping that whatever happens, you have guys that Miles Kitzman, who are in a position to say, whoever wins this, we ride with him. Miles Kitzman also, I think, is Team Joey Aguilar, considering he's already extended the invitation to him for his wedding after like 6 weeks. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is, you can't just get an invitation to a wedding, Will. Like, this is like $100 a plate sometimes.
I know. I'm intimately familiar at the moment as we plan ours.
Yeah. You got a number set on how many people?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're working on it.
Have that. Hey, have that. Okay.
So that is the Tennessee camp update. To me, the depth at receiver is still just a major concern. Like, they just cannot afford an injury to any of these guys. And you would like to be able to keep in scrimmages and in games even. Like, if you are up late on a team, you need all the reps you can get.
All of them.
But you also can't afford to put Mike Matthews out there in the third quarter if you're beating UAB by 30 and him get hurt either. Like, the thing I'm interested to ask Brent Hubbs tomorrow is, we know Boo Carter is back to being a full participant in practice.
Yeah.
Does that mean on offense too?
It would be good.
Because I imagine there's got to be a process like, all right, you're going to fully participate on defense first. Then maybe we'll throw you on at offense. Like, what is the expectation for Boo Carter on offense out of necessity? Because we're talking about true freshmen who are going to have to play a lot of snaps.
Yes.
Travis Smith or Darius Jackson are going to have to play a lot this year right away. That is a concern in an offense that requires the wide receivers to make a lot of the checks for the quarterback.
Yeah, or no.
There is a level of cohesiveness. There is a level of chemistry. You've got to have it within this system to where your receivers are reading the leverage of the corner or of the safety and then either running a post, a go, or a comeback based on where the DB is in real time. Tricky. It's a difficult system to play as a freshman receiver.
This is also, though, where you look at Kelsey Pope and Coach Heupel in general, and you say to these guys, this is where your next steps are as coaches at this point, in my personal opinion, Will. Like, you say to them, if you can get these guys taught early and get them on the field as soon as you get them on campus, that's a dub. Now, you run into it when it gets log jammed down the line with the amount of guys that you're playing. But this is a great problem to have for guys that need to play. Because, Will, I feel like last year we were begging for more Mike Matthews, right? We were in a position like, where is Mike at? It was Mike watch all last year, and then going into this offseason, especially with the NIL stuff. Like, this is the opportunity they're begging for. And also, wasn't Mike Matthews last year dealing with the injuries of being able to get on field then, too? Like, that has to stop for him. Professionally, I say that as a young wide receiver. He's got to get established as being wide receiver one if that's what he's trying to do, and that means you can't make the club in the tub.
Right. Other camp headlines around the SEC. Pete Nakos of On3 says that Ty Simpson has strung together some solid practices and that Alabama is well positioned to emerge as the leader of the quarterback competition. No surprise at all.
No.
Kayla DeBoer and OC Ryan Grubb over the summer said to the effect of, if we had to play today, he'd be our guy. Let's be honest, he's been the guy all along.
Yes.
It's not in your best interest to say that because then Austin Mack might have transferred, but Keelan Russell is the future. Ty Simpson is the present for Alabama and Kayla DeBoer.
Yeah, Ty Simpson's on a one-year rental, and he can maximize the heck out of this moving forward, man. Like you said, Keelan Russell is, I think, what he wants to be his next Michael Penix Jr. Is that fair to say in a sense, Will? I think so, but
yeah, or better.
Ty, though, has been the consummate pro down at Alabama to wait his turn now, and it's his time to shine. He's a quarterback. I mean, he's a coach's son. He's played former 5-star from here in the state, man. This is his golden opportunity right here, and I actually think he's going to do fine this year, considering this offense, the second year for him, and then is his biggest opportunity he's going to have. Good thing for them is if Ty doesn't check that box when it comes down to him being good or the Bama standard, they can go to Keelan Russell as quick as possible, man. Mm-hmm. He's got a mulligan, I think, still with understanding Ty ain't played in, 5 years? And he's got his guy in-house now.
He's played a little bit, just sparingly. I mean, he got a chance against South Florida in that game on the road.
He sure did.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't, exactly.
And was put back on the bench. Ty Simpson, again, it is so easy to just get bored with guys who have stuck around and want the new thing, want the young 5-star. Ty Simpson was also a 5-star.
Very much so.
Ty Simpson was the number 2 quarterback in the country in 2022, ranked right behind Cade Klubnik and in front of Drew Aller. So, I mean, the guy's got a significant level of arm talent coming from Westview High School in Martin, Tennessee, and at the time was seen as one of the most important recruits in recent history for Tennessee football, and they couldn't get him because they were in the middle of a coaching change from Jeremy Pruitt to Josh Heupel.
I wonder how long his leash is, though, too, Ty. Considering.
I think it's long.
You think it's a long leash?
I think as good as those receivers are with the big 3 you have and Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton from Murfreesboro, and, of course, Ryan Williams, I think Ty Simpson's going to do well. I think that offense will be good.
Yeah. Okay.
I do. Elsewhere around camp storylines, Garrett Nussmeier is, quote, fine. After being helped on the practice field Wednesday, the Bengal Tigers' Shea Dixon of On3 reported this on their message board, was put out there by On3. There was a rumor out there that he was legitimately hurt and like ACL kind of stuff. There was no truth to that. Dixon reported there is no need to hit a panic button. The expectation is that the redshirt senior Nussmeier will be all right. This comes the same day as Louis Riddick yesterday on ESPN picked Nussmeier to win the Heisman.
Wow, that's strong.
Big expectations for the redshirt senior quarterback in Baton Rouge.
And there we go with these quarterback reported injuries again. So this is Justin Fields 2.0. He's got a toe that hurts again. But that's good for LSU. They got a lot of expectations. They got receivers that hit the portal the way they needed to. Brian Kelly has been recruiting the way you needed him to, and there isn't. They have this is the old storyline. There's been coach after coach to check the box as far as getting a national championship. He's in the blender right now. Brian Kelly is with LSU. Like the brand itself is almost inexcusable not to have one of those top 5 teams this year. And of course, they got to fight through with a quarterback that now you said Louis Riddick that's his Heisman candidate, strongest Heisman candidate at this point. Pick. Yeah. That is a strong vote of confidence right there.
And plus, with the wide receivers they brought in, Barryon Brown and Nick Anderson to go with the guys that were already back, and the Oklahoma tight end they bring in as well. To me, it's about the offensive line that's the concern for LSU.
Good.
Replacing Will Campbell, replacing Emory Jones, replacing the production that's gone. Yeah. We'll see. I'm very interested to see exactly what they look like on offense because they lost 2 NFL tackles. And to me, they kind of wasted their opportunity while the iron was hot last year to make a run of the playoff because they couldn't win in week 1 again, and they couldn't stop mobile quarterbacks every single time they would see them. And Marcel Reed and Jalen Milroe. Heck, about the only mobile quarterback they stopped was Diego Pavia.
That's it.
Last season.
Yep.
They struggled. Blake Baker's defense, year 2 for him as DC. I think they'll be better on defense, but We talk about it a lot. The one thing that gets you praise and adoration at LSU is national championships.
And that's all.
At Texas A&M, sources have told On3 that Mississippi State transfer Mario Craver and NC State transfer Casey Concepcion have lived up to the hype to this point in training camp for Texas A&M. They are the SEC contender that we are talking about the least. Ramon Foster. Mike Elko has assembled quite a talented roster. The cupboard was not exactly bare when he got there. That defense was nasty last season. They got some guys to replace in the Shamars up front and the pass rush that's going to have some new faces, but they are a really intriguing team that could make a run, and Nashville's own Marcel Reed's right at the middle of it.
Them and Texas Tech are the sneakiest teams I feel like in all of college football for 2025. A&M has been bubbling down there, man. And if they can get a competent head coach to get them over the hump and Marcel Reed stays healthy, we're going to be talking about them probably more than the expectations of a team like LSU. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that level, I think, of talent that they have down there in State College. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be. I do feel like there's hype, but it's quiet hype with them. They got a lot. Casey Concepcion, and in general, I was hoping we got him in the portal this year and struck out on that one, but still.
Stud. Tennessee had to see him at NC State last year. That guy is as advertised. He is a burner.
Yeah, he is. Burner. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. There is another headline from Vanderbilt about Diego Pavia that came out. Not something that is current in fall camp. No, it's a check that Diego Pavia is going to have to cash based off of the Netflix documentary. Some audio we will play you from the Vanderbilt quarterback talking about Tennessee coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Brian's Motorsports, man, where they just simply live like this. You dream it, they design it, and build it for you. Hands down, the best guys around when it comes to car customizations, man. If you're ready to elevate your vehicle, Brian's Motorsports, they specialize in transforming rides with statement-making custom wheels, immersive audio experiences, and head-turning style through custom tints and wraps, man. Whether you're seeking something subtle or a complete custom build, they can deliver cutting-edge style and performance for all vehicles, including the most exclusive and exotic cars. You got something that costs about $300,000, they got you. Don't matter. If you got a $20,000 car, they got you. Trust me, I've gone up for almost everything when it comes down to my vehicles, man. They offer tire and wheel packages, lift kits, lighting kits, winches, interior and audio customization. They'll do graphics and a combination of everything listed from mild to wild to make your off-road or on-road experience what you dreamed of, man. Their location in Hendersonville is 789 West Main Street in Hendersonville, as I just told you. Or you can go to BriansMotorsports.com. Their socials, Instagram and Facebook, at Brian's Motorsports. You know the brand. You know the name, man. Go there like I do, Brian's Motorsports, and make sure you tell them that Ramon sent you.
Wrapping up the show on Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone. Lucas Panzica and Robert Walsh have you covered coming up. Buck Rising from Tampa Bay at noon today. He is boots on the ground. And we got a little bit of a practice update for you from Tampa before we hear from Diego Pavia, Ramon Foster. Jeffrey Simmons and Cody Mount getting after it a little bit.
Yeah, they are. Got spicy, too. I know 3HL ran a poll yesterday who would be the first fight or who they expect to fight. Cash in your tickets. You won.
That's right.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely right. One-on-ones apparently favoring the Bucs DBs against the Titans receivers. And Buck Rising saying, did not get a Bucs O versus Titans D or line versus line, but would not say Titans versus Bucs secondary was an overall win. Drops and misfires with a few highlights sprinkled in. No more video today until Cam's presser.
From the Pewter Report, who's a credential spot down there, a credential site down in Tampa.
Yep.
I'm also seeing right tackle Luke Godicke shut down Oladejo and in one-on-ones, and they said followed up by Cody Mount winning against Jeffrey Simmons, and then things got chippy.
There you go.
There's a video of the Jeffrey Simmons and Cody Mount rep, and I would agree. Jeff bull rushed him, but ultimately lost them because Cody begrudgingly gave up ground right there, and that's a win for guards. Pressure, I always say, what is pressure? Quarterback's supposed to perform under that in those moments right there.
Toss him right to the side.
Toss him to the side, and Jeff also came across with an arm to the head, knocked his hat off his head or whatever too, so I knew that was going to happen.
At Buck Rising on Twitter, he also says, if they try anyone but James Prochet at punt returner, bad things happen.
Oh.
Okay. Well, James Prochet, welcome to the Tennessee Titans, I guess.
This is what you get right here.
Yeah, sure.
This is exactly what you get right here in these moments, man, when you go up against a new team.
Diego Pavia, Netflix, Any Given Saturday. Good show. I'm on episode 4. I've not gotten yet to this episode we're about to hear from, where Tennessee beats Vanderbilt. And this was, Justin, what are we about to hear? Is this Diego before the Tennessee game?
Yes, this is a preview before their game, and it has some of Clark Lee in it as they preview.
Okay.
And it has, where they do the sit-down interviews with Diego Pavia, and he talks about Tennessee.
And this has been bleeped, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Here you go.
I want to beat Tennessee, and I need everyone to be on the same page.
We can beat Tennessee literally any given Saturday.
We're not leaving that stadium on Saturday without a win.
They think they're going to destroy us. Every single one of them dudes, we're going to win this game at all costs.
Well, you lost.
36-23, final score. Tennessee to the college football playoff.
His Hot Take Summer campaign continues to roll on.
Ramon Foster, your thoughts?
I try to be down the line with this one. I do the thing. Like, I don't call him Candy as much as Savage do from time to time. You know what I'm saying? Publicly, I try to play that game. Oh, well, that's my brother. I love him for that. This makes it hard for me to be down the middle because I'm pro Vols. I'm pro Tennessee. I'm pro UT. I'm GBO. I'm VFL. I'm all those things. So hearing this, man, and if he's go to the Steelers, hey, I'm a Diego Pavia fan. As it pertains to him as a Vanderbilt Commodore, you can take my ticket. I'm off that train. I can't do the hype up no more because I know how he feels. I know what we mean to them. I know what the hate is in this too, and I heard it. It's one thing for you to say something and I somewhat expect it. You know what I'm saying? I get the hate. But for me to have indoor conversation come outdoor, then I can't. Now I know how you feel. So because of that, if it's bleep us, it's bleep you too, is how I feel about it. That's what he's supposed to think.
I'm going to go two directions with this. First, I'm going to start from the Vanderbilt perspective and be positive for a minute. Diego Pavia is exactly what Vanderbilt needed in 2024.
I agree.
Exactly what Vanderbilt needed. You see a lot of clips of him in games, still encouraging, still keeping that team on edge. Heck, after they went up on Missouri in overtime, a game they eventually lost on a missed field goal, there's a video of Pavia going up to his teammates, be like, hey, quit celebrating, go cheer on the bleeping defense. Like, there was a culture reset that happened. That when bad things happened to Vandy last year, Diego Pavia kept that team engaged and kept them motivated to stay in the fight. I mean, they lost to Missouri, then came back and beat Alabama, largely because Diego Pavia gave that team belief. Diego Pavia rubbed off on everyone else and gave them confidence. However, Ramon Foster, I am afraid that Diego Pavia is starting to write a lot of checks that he cannot cash. And I do not think Vanderbilt is a bowl team in 2025. I think looking at that schedule, I think looking at the way they start the season against Virginia Tech, again, on the road.
Yeah.
Stephen Godfrey was in here in studio this week and said, no, that VOD Tech staff took that a little personally, what Vanderbilt did to them last year. I think there is a big response from the Hokies this year. I have a hard time seeing Vanderbilt making a bowl game considering what their schedule is and the teams that they've got to see again. I think Auburn is much better. I think Alabama is going to have something for them in Tuscaloosa. It's crazy to say all that and not even have over 110 yards passing.
No,
secondly.
for real.
I like what Diego Pavia means to Vanderbilt, but I think that it's gone a little bit too far now this summer. And he didn't say this stuff this summer. This was back then, so maybe it's a moot point. But I think the Diego Pavia shtick's getting a little old, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Because now we get to the realness of it. I've always said, it's been my motto, whatever you say you're going to do, you got to prove that in football. Like in all sports you do, but specifically football, like you got 11 guys that you are writing checks for them too, or 10 other dudes you writing checks for also. And respectfully, I say this, but it's still Vanderbilt football until you prove otherwise. You got a guy in Ryan Williams that's saying, we're talking about a sledgehammer to an ant. It ain't just us, right? It ain't just Alabama. It's Tech, right? Virginia Tech. It's LSU. I punched my ticket. I'm out.
That is your Thursday morning. Tomorrow, we will have more updates from Titans training camp in Tampa Bay. We'll be joined by Brent Hubbs at 7:20. We'll have Ron Slay in hour 4. We will have a preseason preview of Titans and Bucs tomorrow morning.
So, your Twitter fingers, your Netflix specialties, and Mike, always hot, baby.
Including you, Diego.